The Mariners and the Rays next here on FSN. Welcome, everybody, to Safeco Field here in Seattle. The fans have been lined up since noon this afternoon. Why? Their favorite son, Ken Griffey Jr. It's his bobblehead night, and everybody wants one. They've come to see Junior. They've come to get a little bobble, and tonight the Mariners open up a long homestand against three of the better teams in the American League. And first up, it's the Tampa Bay Rays, the defending American League champions, and they come in with an outstanding record of 60-48 against the Mariners, who are 56-52. Welcome inside Safeco Field, everybody. With Dave Niehaus off this evening, I'm Dave Sims, along with Mike Flowers. Let's take a look at the Rays starting lineup for tonight.
Okay, thank you, Dave. For Joe Madden and the Rays, it'll be Bartlett, Crawford, Longoria, Zobrist, Pena, Burrow, Ibar, Upton, and Navarro. The catcher will hit ninth. Let's take a look at the numbers for Felix this year. 12-4, 152 innings pitched, 141 strikeouts. And the defense behind him, you have Saunders, Gutierrez, and Ichiro in the outfield. Across the infield will be Beltre, Wilson, Lopez, and Branyan. And doing the catching tonight will be Rob Johnson.
Felix Hernandez on the mound. Last couple of outings, his command not near as sharp as it had been for a greater part of this season. But now trying to bring some things out here. And here we go with the first pitch. And it's in there for a called strike one. Mark Carlson calling the balls and strikes. 65 degrees here at first pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Mark Carlson at home plate. Tim Tschida at first. Bob Davidson at second, and Jeff Nelson is at third. Bartlett having a fabulous season. 338. Good start for Felix Hernandez.
Looks like Felix has good movement on his pitches early in the game, throwing strikes right away. Take a look at this last pitch from Felix. Starts in the middle of the plate, and the bottom of it just falls out. Tremendous movement, 90 miles an hour.
So he disposes Bartlett in 3 pitches. American League stolen base leader Carl Crawford, .314 batting average. Carl Crawford in 1 game against the Red Sox earlier this year, 6 stolen bases. You mentioned it earlier. He gets on second. He's as good as anybody in terms of stealing third.
Usually doesn't wait around either. 51 stolen bases for Crawford.
Wilson knows he's got to hurry. Boots it. His first play at Safeco Field as a Mariner. So an E6 for Jack Wilson, his 8th error of the year, first as a Mariner.
Carl Crawford's speed causes this error. Wilson coming in, gets kind of an in-between hop, hits it right off of his wrist, but he tried to rush that play because of the speed of Crawford.
First error as a Mariner. That'll bring up 3-hole hitter Evan Longoria. Been bothered by some hamstring problems, but starting to swing the bat really well, as you saw on that swing right there. So with 1 out, the Rays have runners at first and second. Felix has thrown 6 pitches, 6 for strikes.
And Longoria doing his homework before he gets to home plate. Swings at the first pitch fastball that he sees and lines it into left field. You could tell when he was running out of the box right there, Dave, that those hamstrings are bothering him.
Bring up Ben Zobrist, switch hitting right fielder, hitting .293. This guy can hurt you too. He's got 19 home runs, 56 runs batted in. I believe last year when we saw these guys, Zobrist was sort of an extra player. He's turned into one of the outstanding performers in the league.
6th in the league in slugging percentage. And he has to be. He's hitting 4th in this lineup. He has struggled this year with his batting average, but he has hit a bunch of home runs. He's on deck. 27 home runs for Pena.
Bouncing ball. Felix gets the out. Runners move up. Nice play by Felix Hernandez. Boy, that was a true definition of a Baltimore chop coming off the plate. 2 down.
I think if Felix doesn't hustle over and get this, his ball certainly will go foul. Take a look at it right down the line. Has a lot of spin on it, but Felix catches it in fair territory and puts the tag on Zobrist.
He's got a lot of bounce off of that mound. Good athlete. Here's Carlos Pena. A tough hombre here. 27 home runs. He also leads the American League in strikeouts. Struck out 138 times, but he's second to Nelson Cruz of Texas. A home run every 14 at-bats. Swing and a miss. Pena, 3rd place in the American League. There's your strikeouts. Tops in strikeouts. 3rd in home runs at 27. Morneau and Teixeira lead the American League with 28 home runs. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. 2 down here in the 1st. It's Tampa Bay Ball Club 5th in batting average in the AL. There's a strike. Carlson said, yes, you did. How about Felix? He's 10 for 10. 10 pitches, 10 strikes. He's 0-2 to Pena. Big crowd coming up full roar here. First inning, you got to like the atmosphere. Ken Griffey Jr. bobblehead night. Mariners back. First game of a 10-game homestand. Another 10-game homestand after quick trip to Detroit and Cleveland. Finish out this month. Felix is ready. Here comes the 0-2. Joe Madden, Manager of the Year. All those took the Rays to the American League Championship. Won in the All-Star game last month, so the American League has the home field advantage in the upcoming World Series. Hit on the ground. Foul ball. The at-bat continues for Pena.
Take a look at the tracer. All those pitches down. The one you see up out of the zone. That was an 0-2 pitch that Felix wasted up trying to get Pena to chase it. He threw it up there on purpose, but everything else down. That's a good sign for Felix.
Crowd into this one. They get a Ken Griffey Jr. bobblehead night and a Felix start at the same night. Not bad. A 1-2 to Pena. Just missed. Boy, I like the crowd's attitude. They're in every pitch starting out. Good stuff. Two outs here in the first. Long look by Felix. Into Rob Johnson. He's ready. Just away. Full count. On deck hitter, Pat Burrell. Free agent signee, came over from the world champion Phillies. Felix trying to put a plug into this thread here by Tampa Bay here in the first inning. The pitch. Bases are loaded. The Mariners yesterday saw a very rocky first inning. Jason Vargas, 5 runs, 5 hits. Vargas sent down a AAA Tacoma with Doug Fister, a right-hander, coming up. Another dangerous long ball hitter, Pat Burrell. These Rays are third behind Texas and the Yankees in home runs in the AL. So Vargas and optioned out to Tacoma, Doug Fister. No word on when Fister's going to get an opportunity to start. Don Wakamatsu talking about they want to dialogue with him. San Diego likes to go see where he is on his pitching day. They got a couple things they got to figure out. 0-1 here to Burrell as they peel down the first base umpire. Up high, 1-1. First base umpire Tim Shida. .271 opponent's batting average. Bases loaded. Here's the 1-1. In there for a strike. Well, thought about pulling the trigger.
Threw him a slider inside, started off the plate inside and broke on the inside corner. Looks like Felix has everything working for him. He's thrown some really good changeups early in the ball game. Nice movement on his fastball.
Got to be careful with Burrell because over the last 24 games, Burrell's hitting a 506 clip. Came inside and missed. Mariners coming home after taking 2 out of 3 against Kansas City, losing 3 of 4 at Texas. 2-2 to Pat Burrell. Beltre, that's a foul ball. Third base umpire Jeff Nelson had his hands up. Foul ball.
We'll take a look at the swing of Pat Burrell. Up right off his toe, it looked like. Felix with 20 pitches here in the first.
Here we go, 2-2 with the bases loaded, 2 outs in the first. Sharply hit, Wilson backhand, throws to second, got him, nice play. Jack Wilson atones for the error just a few minutes ago. The Rays load the bases but are turned away. Nothing across. Felix waiting for Jack Wilson to give him a little fist pound. Mariners coming up. Here at Safeco Field, Dave Sims, Mike Flowers with you. Time for some lineups.
For the standard lineup tonight, you have Ichiro, Branyan, and Lopez in it. It's Griffey, Beltre, Gutierrez, Wilson, Johnson, and Saunders. The left fielder will hit ninth. If you look at the numbers for Neiman, having a fantastic year. 10 wins already, ERA of a 3.62. And the defense behind him, Crawford, Upton, and Zobrist in the outfield. Across the infield will be Longoria, Bartlett, Ibar, and Pena. And Navarro will do the catching tonight.
20th start for Jeff Neiman, a 26-year-old rookie. Big star at Rice University. Same program that produced the Mariners' David Ardsma. Neiman down there in Houston with 28-4. Ichiro to lead it off. Major league leader at batting average and hits. Fouled back by Ichiro. 1-1. There's an itch meter, and you know the fans really adopting this helmet theme. Major League Baseball has banned the Mariner bullpen from having helmets out there, but the fans have certainly picked up the slack. Ball club are big fans of the Gladiator movie 300. The warrior mentality, and Major League Baseball said it's not part of the Major League uniform, so the boys aren't allowed to have them out in the bullpen. But the fans certainly have been paying attention. They've adopted that. They're into what the guys are doing. They like it.
Looked like the one helmet the guy was wearing out there was made out of tinfoil.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I passed a couple of people that had them out in the right field seats earlier today. A little innovation there. Yeah, why not? I bet it's hot as heck. 2-2 to Ichiro. Down to Longoria. Throws high. Pena comes down the middle of the bag. And Ichiro's gone. 1 out. See how Russell Branyan swings the bat. His bat back has been a little bit stiff of late. And it's been reflected in his recent numbers too. Road trip 5 for 23, no home runs. Since the All-Star break, hit just a .172, 2 home runs and 12 runs batted in, and 64 at bats. Strike one from Jeff Neiman. He is a big guy, 6'9". Jack Zarincic, the general manager of the Mariners, talked about some of the pitchers they've been looking at and brought in. They like him tall as well. Check swing. It's the biggest difference. You get a guy 6'9" coming downhill.
Well, I think it's the angle of the baseball coming out of their hand. This guy at 6'9". You get a little bit steeper as the ball comes into home plate, and then with him, especially throwing 93, 94 miles an hour and pretty good sink to it, just makes it very difficult to see a big curveball.
High drive, deep center field. That one is gone. A home run for Russell Branyan. He unloads, and that's a good sight for the Mariners, who take a 1-0 lead. For Branyan, his 25th home run, RBI number 62. Good piece of hitting by Russell Branyan on an 0-2 pitch.
Take a look at it. He gets a curveball. I'm sure they wanted to bounce that pitch. Instead, it ended up in the middle of the plate. And Russell Branyan gives it a ride out to center field.
Branyan with one of those prodigious high drives that he's been hitting all year. Rays load the bases in the top half of the first, can't score, and here are the Mariners taking a 1-0 lead on the Branyan home run. Been a while for Branyan. Last home run was on July 22 in Detroit.
We're talking about the Rays not scoring in the top of the first with the bases loaded. I thought that was a really good example of what a veteran shortstop can do for you.
Yeah, no question about it.
He comes out and he makes an error in the inning, and then when all the pressure's on, he makes a terrific play to get his pitcher back out of the inning, not letting that error bother him, just going about his business. Great play by Wilson to end the top of the first.
2-2 to Lopez, the Mariners' RBI leader. Goes the other way, gets it through the hole, base hit. And for Russell Branyan, that 25 home runs is career high. Here comes the man of the night, Ken Griffey Jr. getting a big hand here at Safeco Field. Talking to Junior in the clubhouse today, I said, hey man, all these people have been here since noon for you. You're going to hit one out? He said, I'll see what I can do.
Would it surprise you if you did?
Absolutely not. There'll be an explosion of noise we haven't heard in a while if he does go deep. The shift is on. And Griffey Jr. on this date has had some success. Jeff Russell, Billy Brewer, Scott Aaron, Jason Jennings. Favorable count. 2-0. Flashbulbs popping all over the ballpark. Expecting upwards of 45,000 in Safeco Field here this evening. 2-0 to Junior. There's a strike, 2-1.
See the shift. Bartlett, the shortstop, all the way over by second base. Longoria, the third baseman, basically playing shortstop right now.
Junior coming off a 6-for-20 road trip. 300, a home run, couple of runs, 5 runs batted in.
Neiman so far 3 straight fastballs to Junior, all of them away.
Here's the 2-1. Three balls, 1 Junior in on the Branyan home run. On deck.
Splitter, and right now Junior has eliminated 2 of those 3 pitches. He's looking for a fastball right here he can drive. Hardly a breeze right now. Junior 11 home runs on the year this set. And the right-hander's 3-1 pitch. Junior with a swing and a pop-up out of play in the third base side. He took a big cut. And the count is now 3-2. On deck for the Mariners, third baseman Adrian Beltre. This is one of many Ken Griffey Jr. bobblehead nights here at
Lopez at first. Full count to Ken Griffey Jr. Do it again. Junior 0 for 2 against Neiman back in April when the Rays were here the first time. Mariners took 2 out of 3.
Junior had a nice road trip. Hit 300 on the road trip.
How much of a lead for Lopez? 3-2. Got him on a breaking ball. First strikeout for Neiman. 2 down here in the first inning.
Take a look at this last pitch from Neiman. Threw him a bunch of fastballs and comes back with what looks like a curveball, maybe a split. Nice pitch. Junior out front.
There's Beltre. Very strong, 4 for 4 yesterday. 3 singles to left and 1 to center. He scored a run yesterday. Mariners 8-2 loss at Kansas City. Bouncing ball to the shortstop Bartlett. He'll go short way to Ibar. That'll do it for the Mariners here in the first. But Russell Branyan breaking out. Good sight to see him go deep. 25th home run of the year, no doubt about it. A lot of hang time per usual, and the Mariners take a 1-0 lead after 1 here at Safeco. Russell Branyan. Willie Ibar to lead it off. Here in the second inning, Ibar, B.J. Upton, Deanna Navarro, 7, 8, 9 here for Tampa Bay.
So the 10 home runs for Ibar. Pretty good considering he just has 180 at bats on the year.
Ground ball goes to Lopez, easy play. And he gets Ibar. Well, Joe Madden, one of the real neat guys managing in Major League Baseball. He's had theme trips this year. He had one earlier this year where everybody goes on the road wearing white, sort of like the old Miami Vice look. He had a trip to Denver, New York, where everybody wore urban cowboy look. He said he went and bought a couple pair of $500 cowboy boots. He's not a cowboy boot guy, but he is now. And still to come, as we look at B.J. Upton, still to come, he's got a Johnny Cash Ring of Fire trip where everybody wears all black. And for you folks of the TV fans from back in the 70s, you're going to love this one. B.J. Upton looks at ball 2. Remember the character Herb Tarlett in WKRP in Cincinnati, the salesman with the crazy plaid suits and everything? Everybody's going to have a plaid suit Herb Tarlett trip coming up for Tampa Bay. 2-1. He said the guys, he said it's been fun telling the guys about what happened a generation or two ago on TV, and they've gotten a kick out of it. It's been a huge hit down in Tampa Bay. And in fact, he said one guy who has a cowboy emporium in Tampa had probably the best month he's had in 10 years. All the boys were buying stuff in June. That's a real eclectic guy. 3-1. And Upton walks on that pitch. For Felix's second walk this evening. Navarro, 224, 6 home runs, 27 runs batted in. I thought that was pretty neat. That you had the bullpen, the Mariners bullpen with their gladiator gear. Here he's got everybody in the ball club, walking through the hotel and the airports and everything. Everybody dressed alike. Said that the guy's got a kick out of it. And looking forward to these next 2 trips.
I like the fact that they had their cowboy boots and cowboy hats going into New York.
Well, the urban cowboy craze back in 1980-81. It was pretty big in New York for a little bit. It had a run. Felix at one point starting out the ballgame in the first inning, 10 pitches, 10 strikes. Got out of a bases-loaded situation. Give up a hit and an error on Jack Wilson, and Wilson atoned for it nicely to get the final out. Runner goes. Throw by Rob Johnson is not in time. Dismissed. Boy, Wilson thought he had the tag down. Second base umpire Bob Davidson says no.
It's a great play by Wilson to get this pick. And it looked like Upton slid right into the tag, but his foot must have been on the base. Take a look at the replay. Rob Johnson throws it down. Nice pick. Whoa. That was awfully close. Nice play by Wilson.
35th stolen base by B.J. Upton. Well, that's a nice job by Jack Wilson. 2-0 to Navarro. Now Felix 3-0 to the 9-hole hitting catcher. Back to the top of the order, Jason Bartlett. Hits through Rob Johnson. Runner's going to advance. That was ball 4 to Navarro.
It's been part of the problem with Felix his last couple outings. His command's been a little bit off, and as you mentioned, he started off throwing strikes early in the ball game, but now he has back-to-back walks, so he's going to have to rein it back in.
Sort of looking like that last start when the defense bailed him out on multiple occasions. I was back down in Texas. official score. Eric Radovich said he's going to wait for a replay. As of now, that is a wild pitch. Back to the top of the order, Jason Bartlett. Safety squeeze was on. Fouls it off. These are important days for these Rays as they battle in the American League East. Yankees and Red Sox playing as we speak. 10th inning, no score. Oh, and 2 now to Bartlett. Bartlett struck out his first time.
A couple of fastballs up and into Bartlett, trying to tie him up, get on his hands.
Ruling now is going to be a pass ball, and Upton getting the third pass ball. The 0-2. Runners at the corners. Felix trying to pitch out of a jam again for Rob Johnson. His 5th pass ball of the season. The 1-2 pitch. Bouncing ball. Beltre off his chest. Can't get anybody. Run scores. Tie ball game. Ball was stung. We're going to call that an E5. 10th error for Beltre in the season.
Well, he does everything right except for some others. As he gets in front of you, you can see him try. Adrian does such a good job most of the time of pinning that ball up against his body, but once he got away from him with the speed of the Rays, there was no play left for him.
Scoring an error, 5 RBI for Bartlett. Here's Carl Crawford. It's 2 errors tonight for the Mariners. Runner advancing as Rob Johnson has it get away from him. And taking third on the play is Deanna Navarro. These Rays pesky when it comes to the running game. That'll be a pass ball, 2nd this inning. So Navarro's at 3rd.
Take a look at it. That's definitely a pitch that Rob should handle. As a fastball just off the plate. 2 pass balls for him in the inning.
1 out, dangerous hitter in Crawford. Longoria is on deck. So 1-1 ball game here in the top of the 2nd inning. There are a couple of pass balls that helped the Tampa Bay cause. Mariners going to like it down here on defense. By Brendan, 2-1 Tampa Bay. Stopping at 2nd is going to be Bartlett. RBI Crawford is 53rd.
And what you just assigned. You see the safety streak?
Crawford, we mentioned, coming into the game hitting .314, finds a hole over on the right side. Play these better clubs, Dave. You can't afford to make too many mistakes. The Mariners were able to work out a bases loaded situation with an error in the first. But Felix walking a couple of batters. They have a couple runs in and just 1 hit in the inning.
Rick Adair visit's got to be as much as anything emotionally. Take a deep breath. Shake it off. Go get him. Don Wakamatsu and company down 2-1 here in the 2nd inning to a good Tampa Bay ball club. It's won 4-5, 5 of its last 6. Evan Longoria, first pitch swinging his first time up, got a single to left field.
The walks and some of the errors in this thing. Felix's pitch count mounting on him here in the 2nd inning with 1 out, 41 pitches already. That's a good breaking ball by Felix.
Ball and a strike. Longoria, in spite of a hamstring issue, 2nd in the American League in RBIs. He's got 81. Justin Morneau of Minnesota with 89 leads the American League. Pitch misses. 2-1. Two and 1 to Longoria with 2 on. Now a 3-1. Two errors tonight here by the Mariners. Ties them with the White Sox with the most errors in the American League with 84. Swing. Full count now. Mariners could use a DP right here. The 3-2. Check swing. Longoria has hit into 19 double plays, so leading a ball club. See what Felix can come up with right here. They do 3 and 2 again with 2 on, 1 out.
Felix has been throwing him 2-seam fastballs inside, tying Longoria up. Last swing, you could see trying to be aggressive on a 3-1 pitch, and it being a pretty defensive swing. Almost had to get his back foot out of the way because of the movement that Felix has on his fastball tonight.
Here it comes, 3-2. Lost him, bases loaded. Felix's 4th walk. And we're only in the 2nd inning. Following the Mariners-Rays game on Sunday, it's KeyBank's Run Around the Bases. All kids 14 and under, they're invited down to the field for this memorable opportunity. Hey, parents, don't forget your cameras or to purchase your tickets at mariners.com. So 4 walks, less than 2 innings for Felix Hernandez. Swing and a miss by Zobrist. Felix tying a season high, walk 4, beating San Diego in San Diego back on June 16th. In that game, Felix threw a complete game.
Well, if he's going to do that tonight, he's really going to have to go. This next pitch will be number 50 for him.
Limited damage. The 1-1 to center field. Gutierrez to the gap. That'll get a run in. 2 down. Tagging and scoring is Bartlett. Moving from 2nd to 3rd is Carl Crawford.
First baseman, number 23, Carlos.
2 down. RBI for Zobrist is 57th. Carlos Pena walking a 3-2 pitch, his first time up. Fly ball left field. Saunders drifting towards the line, has it under control, makes the catch. A 3-run 2nd inning for the American League defending champion Rays. To the home second we go, 3-1 Tampa Bay.
Seattle Mariners baseball on FSN is brought to you by Snoqualmie Casino, Seattle's premier entertainment and dining destination.
3-1 Tampa Bay lead as we go to the home second here at Safeco Field. Full house. Ken Griffey Jr. bobblehead night. Franklin Gutierrez leads it off. It will be followed by Jack Wilson and Rob Johnson. Not a clean inning, Mike, in the top of the second. 3 runs, 2 earned, 1 hit, 2 errors.
2 errors, 3 walks.
Couple of pass balls.
Yeah. I wonder if maybe the guy's getting to bed at about 3 o'clock this morning.
I hear you.
Having a tough time getting it going early in the ball game.
Double up on that coffee, please. 1-1 to Gutierrez. Back up this way. Well, you've had experience in that as a player, now as a broadcaster. Obviously, it's tougher as a player, but does it take you till, say, tomorrow, the second day, to really get the equilibrium back?
Well, you know, you have a couple of things you're dealing with. You know, the time change, couple hours from the road trip that they were on, and then you get in. By the time these guys got to bed, it's 3:30 in the morning. So you're dealing with all of that, and then of course, you know, a lot of the guys that have family, the kids want to see them. Go wake up dad at 7 o'clock in the morning, see how that's going. But I always found that it's the second day that's the toughest. You feel lethargic on the second day. You know, tonight should be a pretty easy night with everything that's going on with Junior, bobblehead, and Felix on the mound, and then a packed house here.
Easy to get that adrenaline going, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
I remember you telling me about that 2 years ago. The first time I went through this, the second night's a bear.
Yeah, it's tough.
2-2. Stayed alive, just got a piece of it. Franklin Gutierrez having a great year, playing every day. 259 on the road trip, 7 for 27. He's 2-2 here in an inning. All right, pulled the string nicely. 1 down here in the second strikeout for Jeff Neiman.
2 off-speed pitches you'll see from Neiman. It's a good curveball. Well, he just struck Gutierrez out with, and he has a good split finger. Throws out a lot to the left-handed hitters. Take a look at this last pitch. See the curveball, nice 12-6 action on it. Franklin swings right over the top.
Here's Jack Wilson's Safeco Field. Mariner first at bat. It's a strike. Jack hit 286, 4 runs, 4 doubles on the road trip, 8 for 28. Fastball fouled off, 0-2. Jack coming over back on the 29th of July with Ian Snell for 5 players. Good to have him here after a long tenure with the Pittsburgh Pirates. 0-2. Popped it up. Pena calling everybody off. Makes the catch.
Along with having some serious pop, Pena's a good fielding first baseman.
Early winner, early leader, clubhouse leader maybe. We're only in the second inning. 4 generations. All right, everybody chipping in here tonight. Walking around down in the stands behind first base. Good buzz in the ballpark. Longoria will charge. And he throws out Rob Johnson. The Mariners are gone 1-2-3 in the second. Tampa Bay with a 3-1 lead. than ever. And by Les Schwab, celebrating over 50 years of pride in performance. Dave Niehaus with the evening off. I'm Dave Sims with Mike Flowers. Rick Riz will be along in the bottom of the fourth. Bottom of the fifth, make that. 3-1 Tampa Bay. Felix Hernandez. And the Mariners on the short end right now. Got some Montana fans from the home state. Only Outlaws helmets. I don't blame Mariner fans for being ticked off. The bullpen guy's not allowed to have their helmets, but the fans come with their helmets. I like that. Way to show support for the fellas. Sky to left. Off the bat of Pat Burrow. Saunders out there. Makes the catch. One out here in the third. Time now for our Aflac trivia question. On this date in 2007, Barry Bonds hit his 756th career home run, setting the all-time mark. What team and which pitcher did the home run come against? It's 2 years ago. I can tell you it's 61. Or is it? Tom Zachary gave up the 60th home run for Babe Ruth in 1927. I don't remember 07.
Isn't that amazing?
It's sick. Fly ball center field. And Tracy Stallard gave up Roger Maris' 61st. And I don't remember Bonds from 2 years ago.
I can't think of that home run either. For some reason, I want to think it was in Houston.
It was undoubtedly on a night we were working. B.J. Upton, big swing and a miss. Coming into this inning, Felix Hernandez threw his first 10 pitches for strikes. Then he went 22 of his next 41 were balls. Had it, then he lost it. Errors and pass balls didn't help.
He got the first 2 outs fairly quickly. If he can put Upton away and start to get his pitch count back in order. He's still a little bit high, but if he has a couple of quick innings, he should be able to get pretty close to where he needs to be.
Back with a strike, 1 and 2, and he picked up his pace. Throwing it, getting it back, and let's go. A couple of shakes. Here we go, 1 and 2. B.J. Upton, his brother Justin with Arizona, who we saw in here earlier, one of the better brother combinations we've seen. Dwindling number of African Americans playing baseball. Good to have these guys in the game. Wasn't that long ago, Major League's 30-something% African Americans playing baseball. It's well below 15 now. Swing and a miss, and Upton's gone. A quick inning for Felix Hernandez. He needed that. A 9-pitch inning for Felix Hernandez. 3-1 Tampa Bay.
Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Ken Griffey Jr. bobblehead night. Big crowd on hand here at Safeco Field. Junior back with the ball club this year. He has been a fantastic addition. 39 years old, 11 home runs, 34 runs batted in. Immeasurable value in the clubhouse. Michael Saunders going to lead it off. 9-1-2, followed by Ichiro and Branyan. Saunders starting to come around, making those adjustments. They've been pounding him inside. Fastballs and going away, and he's adopted a little more athletic batting stance, he said. He's feeling comfortable. Had 6 for 21 on the road trip, 286. His first triple along the way.
You look at him right now, hitting 250 coming into the game, and he has 4 bunt hits, 10 hits overall, 4 of them bunt hits.
Good wheels.
Well, it's smart. It's smart on his part. You know, maybe his swing isn't there, or he feels a little bit nervous early on. 22 years old, trying to find his way, and he's been able to keep himself alive by dropping down some bunts.
Pena feed to Neiman for the first out. Revisit our Affleck trivia question on this date in 07. Barry Bonds, career home run number 756, setting the all-time mark. With team and which pitcher they hit it against? Now I remember. Mike Basic of the Washington Nationals. All right. Remember Basic. He handled that really well. Yeah, no way. Your house was not on it, so you're good. You're clear.
Right. Basic, you're right. Absolutely.
Remember
I remember that. Yeah, they introduced the stuff.
Well?
Yeah, it was terrific. Did a nice job.
Popped out. Longoria giving chase. And he's right there. He makes the play. Nice play by Evan Longoria. Ichiro's gone. Quick 2 outs for Neiman here in the third. So Neiman has now retired 7 in a row. I'm going to bring up Russell Branyan here with 2 outs. Back in 02, Branyan hit 8 home runs with Cleveland, 16 for Cincinnati, 24 total. The home run he hit in the first gives him 25 this year. It's major league high. Longoria chasing in, will run out of room 3 rows back. But Mike Basic gave up that home run to Bonds, and that was the last super notable thing that happened to him in baseball. He is out of the major leagues right now. Strike 2 here to Branyan.
See the big time shift on Branyan. Most clubs do that when he's hitting. He and Junior both basically get the same shift. Ibar, the second baseman, playing well out in the right field. Bartlett, the shortstop, swung around. Longoria playing in the shortstop position.
It's into the shift. Ibar is there and throws out Branyan. Quiet inning for the Mariners. 8 in a row retired by Jeff Neiman. 3-1 Tampa Bay here at Safeco Field. To you by Washington's Lottery. Whose world would you change? And by Whitmer, Ordinary Brothers Extraordinary Beer. Glad you could join us, everybody. First of a 10-game homestand. Mariners fans out in force. I'll tell you what, those are direct copies. Not the same types of masks that the boys in the bullpen had until a few days ago. I like the Warrior spirit. Navarro to lead it off. Deanna Navarro, the catcher for Tampa Bay. Looks at strike one, 9-1-2, followed by Jason Bartlett and Carl Crawford. Navarro walked and scored on the Crawford RBI. Was back in the second inning. So 9 pitches. Very clean third inning for Felix Hernandez.
He will need a couple of those. You saw the other 2 innings. Second inning, 30 pitches.
The 0-2 tapper to Felix. For Brandon and scoop one out. Felix Hernandez last time out was against Texas. 7-2 win. He went 7 innings, 6 hits, a couple of runs. He walked 4 in that game, so he's walked 4 in that game. I missed that one. He also had San Diego back on June 16th, and he's got 4 walks here tonight. Bartlett with a strikeout and a reach on an error by Beltran. He scored on Crawford, knocking him in. Good ball club here, Tampa Bay. Fouled off many years in the dark. They're formidable now. Who do you like in that race? You got the Yankees now. The Yankees and the Red Sox. No score in the 11th inning at Yankee Stadium.
Well, I like both. I like all 3 clubs, to be honest with you. I think that New York probably hangs in there, and then I don't know.
Somebody's going to have a great year and not make the playoffs.
Somebody is going to. You're right. Because probably the second place team will end up being the wild card club. Whoever ends up third is going home, probably winning a bunch of games.
So look at the wild card situation. Mariners 6.5 out. Boy, that's some pitching battle. A couple of teams that really could swing the bat. No score in the 11th. Strike 3 call. Bartlett's gone. 3rd strikeout for Felix Hernandez. 2 down here in the 4th.
Take a look at this last pitch. Really good breaking ball. You can see the slider. Nice pitch on the inside corner. See him do that from time to time. He'll throw that pitch inside, lock the hitter up, and have it break right on the inside corner.
Crawford. Beltran, great job to get a piece of it. Stays with it. No, sir. Probably he should have held on, but Crawford will not try to advance. What a gallant effort. Some unbelievable reaction. That ball was stung.
He hits it hard. You see Adrian diving, goes off the thumb of his glove and still thinks he has a chance.
Base hit for Crawford. 2 for 3 tonight. I'm amazed how quickly he reacted to that.
He's a terrific athlete. We've seen that.
Gold Glover the last couple of years. That'll bring up Longoria. Base hit and a walk tonight. 2 outs here in the 4th. Crawford with 51 stolen base attempts. Stolen bases, he's been only caught 9 times. Pitch out, nothing on. 2-0. See what they go with here. 2-0, 2 outs, and great base stealer aboard. Long look by Felix. Back up the middle, base hit. Longoria really struggling. 2 for 2 with a walk.
Take a look at it. Felix pitching him inside for the most part. Pitch, you can see, out on the inside corner, up top of the zone. He fights it off right back up the middle.
You get Crawford. He's at second base. Longoria at first. Crawford with 51 stolen bases. Ben Zobrist, the hitter, at the cleanup in. Sacrifice fly back in the second. Bouncing ball goes foul. Strike one. Be pitch number 76 coming up. Felix Hernandez.
Rays are 1 for 5 with men in scoring position tonight.
Pull the string nicely. 0-2. Felix has struck out 3. He's walked 4. 3 runs on 4 hits. Mariners have made a couple errors behind him. The 0-2 to Zobrist. Swing and a miss. He got him, inning over. Felix leaves 2 runners stranded out there. Nothing across in the 4th. Tampa Bay with a 3-1 lead. Nice pitch by Felix Hernandez for strikeout number 4. First of a 3-game weekend set with the defending American League champions, the Mariners and Rays. They continue the series tomorrow. Singles night at the ballpark. Your ticket's going to include a seat in the singles night section, admission to the pregame party, and your first beverage. To join your fellow bachelors and bachelorettes, visit mariners.com/singles. I think we should have Jim Lang, the host of the dating game, should be hosting tomorrow night. 3-1 ball game. Lopez, Griffey, Beltre here in the home fourth against Jeff Neiman. 10-5, a 3.62 ERA. High fly ball center field for B.J. Upton. 1 out. 9 in a row retired now by Neiman. Well, the man of the night, Ken Griffey Jr. It's his bobble night. He's coming up right now. Time for U.S. Marine Corps leaders of the game. They keep stats on everything in baseball. Mariners on bobblehead nights 3-1 and 11-8 all time since 2003. They didn't have those kind of stats when you were a kid, huh, Mike?
No. Beanie Babies.
I remember that.
The Beanie Babies lasted a couple of years.
To what some people say, thank God, but you know. Junior struck out on a curveball last time up. One and one. Junior's ahead 2-1. He got beat on a curveball last time. What's he sitting here?
Well, he threw him all fastballs until he struck him out on that curveball, and he actually fouled off some pitches. There's a fastball. But for the most part, he stayed with that pitch. A 3-1 fastball his last time up. Fouled it straight back.
3-1. Walked him. First walk by Neiman this evening. How about that? That young man has grown up a lot since that. That's a great picture. Nice job. 1990. Wow, 14 years ago. Where'd that come from? Jeez. At 95. I guess a lot of you guys, 95 season seems like yesterday, right? In some regards. Pitching coach coming out.
Yeah, it
Jim
does.
Hickey.
Yeah, it does. Doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
Great run there for the Mariners. Junior chatting away as always, talking with Tim Sheeta and Lindley Tinsley down there. Beltre bounced into a fielder's choice. 4 for 4 day yesterday. Strike one. Beltre 0 for 3 now against Jeff Neiman. To the gap, left center field, but Crawford, good wheels. Too much hang time on that one. 2 outs. Smoother, quieter, greener way to travel. Ride Sound Transit's Link Light Rail from Tukwila to Seattle. 10 stops along the way.
You better really hit it on a line, left center field gap with Crawford and Upton out there. Those guys can really go get it. Get some air underneath. There's a good chance they're going to run it down.
Neiman picking up right where he left off last April 22nd against the Mariners. He went 5 1/3. Pretty much in control. 3 hits, 3 runs in that game. Today he's improved, giving up a run on 2 hits. 2 outs, 1 on for Gutierrez. Regular strikeout victim leading off the second. Yes, indeed. Heck of a race in American League East. The Yankees, the Red Sox, and Tampa Bay. That's after Toronto got off to a terrific start, and then they were pretty much irrelevant. And they lost again tonight, 7-5 at home to Baltimore. Yankees, Red Sox tied 0-0 in the 12th. 0-2 to Gutierrez. Changing of the guard today with Jason Giambi cut by Oakland and John Smoltz DFA'd by the Boston Red Sox. He got lit up last night in New York.
Did you get a chance to see him throw at all?
I didn't see the highlights, but I heard that the command wasn't really good, and he was up in the zone. The Yankees made him pay for it.
How was his velocity?
Decent. Terry Francona, going into the game, I heard in an interview yesterday afternoon, was very happy. He didn't, the one-loss record for Smoltz was not great, but he said he liked his stuff. And then he went out last night, got pounded by the Yankees. Good battle here. Gutierrez and Neiman 1-2. Tampa Bay getting 3 runs in the second. 2 of them earned. Mariners made 2 errors in that inning, and in that inning, Felix Hernandez walked 3 men. First 2 guys that he walked, yep, they came around and scored. Ken Griffey Jr. on board, he walked, 1 out. 2-2 to Gutierrez.
Fastballs to hit, he just can't square him up. He's either been a little bit late. That last one you can see right in the middle of the plate.
Making Neiman work. This will be pitch number 55. Strike 3 call. Inning over. For Neiman, his 3rd strikeout, 2nd time he's gotten Gutierrez tonight. Mariners get a man on. They leave him there. It's 3-1 Tampa Bay.
Brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
How about this one for Rally Fries tonight? Long Reed, American League West Division Championship. You like the thought there. Welcome back, everybody. Safeco Field, full house tonight. Ken Griffey Jr. bobblehead night and a Felix night.
2001 club. 16 wins that year, man.
That's extraordinary.
It really was.
I remember
those guys had quite a club, and it seemed like they just found a way to win every single night. 116 wins.
Carlos Pena walking flat out to left field. Pena knows about strikeouts. He's gone 138 Ks. That leads the American League. 138 times he struck out. The 0-2. 4 strikeouts for Felix. He had 2 back in the 4th, 1 in the 1st, and 1 in the 3rd. Got him. It's 139 for Pena. 5th strikeout for Felix Hernandez. 1 out here in the 5th.
After a good fastball, he comes back with a breaking ball. And he was way out in front of it. Take a look at it. Pena, a guy that's trying to hit every pitch into the seats, and he about a 3/4 swing. Knew he was done.
That Burrow, fielder's choice, fly out the left. Let's put a little wrinkle in that one. 1-1. That was crushed deep left. Saunders will just take a look, and that's way out of here. Upper deck. Pat Burrell is 9th. 4-1 Tampa Bay. That's what they wanted from Burrell when they brought him over from Philadelphia as a free agent. RBI number 40. He is really heated up.
Take a look at this last pitch. It's a fastball, middle of the plate, hits it a long ways right off the upper deck. Ricochets back down to the Mariner bullpen, but he's been the hot hitter coming into the game for the Rays. You look at his numbers overall, hitting just .226. That is 9th home run. But he's been swinging well for the last few weeks.
Yeah, last 24 games entering tonight, a .506 clip. I'd say it's pretty doggone hot. Bank a lot of those hot streaks. Who's Willie Adbar? On the ground to Jack Wilson. 2 down. You can purchase private suites at Safeco Field on a single or multi-game basis. Suites can accommodate 20 guests, and they're great for special occasions like birthdays, anniversaries, or work outings. So book your suite right now for the upcoming series with the Yankees Thursday through Sunday, 206-346-4001, or visit mariners.com/suites to learn more about the private suites at Safeco Field. DJ Upton, walk, run scored, a strikeout. Last time we saw Upton, he was higher up in the order. He's had some bad swings tonight. 1 and 2.
I was surprised to see him hitting 8th in the lineup, but 244 with 7 home runs coming into the game. That kind of struck. Yep, that'll do it.
Tampa Bay lead. That was a defensive swing. He doesn't look like he's on rhythm at all.
No, and that's just another good breaking ball. I feel he's really, the right-handed hitters from the Rays have really struggled with that pitch tonight because he's throwing the pitch at him, and then it's breaking back on the inside corner, and Upton just about gave up on it, was able to hang in there long enough to foul it off.
Back up the middle, Wilson. Quick flip, nicely done. Jack Wilson earning his keep here. We have played 4.5. Tampa Bay's got a 4-1 lead. Catch you on your radio. Rick Riz taking over. Back with more right after this.
And welcome back to Safeco Field as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Rays lead by a score of 4-1. Hi again, everybody. Rick Riz along with Mike Blowers, and below the Mariners still trying to get to the big right-hander, Jeff Niemann.
Niemann's been pretty tough, and with Felix tonight, he really struggled in the 2nd inning. 3 walks in that inning, an error, a couple of pass balls. Just really tough inning, and right now that's the difference because of how well Niemann is throwing. The Mariners find themselves behind in the ball game, but they've cleaned it up since then, so now they just need to get the offensive numbers going.
Shortstop Jack Wilson will lead things off, followed by Rob Johnson. Johnson ball foul along the third base side, and the count is 0-1. And Jack, as you saw, made that outstanding play into the hole in the top half of the 1st inning to keep the Rays scoreless in that 1st inning, but he can do that.
Well, he can, and again, I think that's what you get when you have a veteran guy at shortstop. He'd made an error earlier in the inning, and then when really all kinds of stuff could have happened to the Mariners on a ball that was hit, as this one flies out to right field, but he comes back and he makes a terrific play. You know, she just shook the error off and then came back and made a great play to get Felix out of a jam.
1 out for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 5th inning as Jack Wilson flies out. That'll bring up catcher Rob Johnson. Well, wow, here comes Lindsey.
The rally prize. Yeah, we have a winner. We might have 2 tonight. I don't know, but we're going to have one right here.
A lot of great signs around Safeco Field tonight with the packed house, Mike.
Terrific.
Rob Johnson takes a look at ball 1 from Niemann. Mr. Blowers.
Well, I like that. I like that Mr. Blowers a lot. And happy birthday.
Happy birthday, sweetheart. Enjoy the rally fries. That is McKenna out there. And our thanks to Lindsay, who delivers the happiness and the goodness around Safeco Field, Mike. Down low to Johnson for ball 2. 2-1 the count on Robbie.
Going right to the tartar sauce.
Smart young lady. I like the sign of the Rob Johnson fans here tonight from Butte, Montana.
Yeah.
Well hit down the left field line, but Robbie pulls it foul. And the count is even on Johnson at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mike, you had to face some tall pitchers. What kind of problems does Mr. Niemann give to some of the Mariner hitters at 6'9"?
Well, there's a couple. It's basically angles where he's steeper coming to home plate. Sometimes, you know, with the really tall ones like he is at 6'9", he feels like he's letting the ball go right in front of you. But I think the toughest part with him really is the movement on his fastball. He has tremendous movement on his fastball, a good curveball.
And that splitter as well. So 2 outs in the inning, bottom of the 5th inning. Let's take a look at our Quest high-speed pitch. Niemann throwing 96, and Felix Mike throwing 96 miles an hour. So both with a good fastball tonight.
The main thing is after that 2nd inning, Felix is like he has command of the 96-mile-an-hour fastball again, which is good news.
Left fielder Michael Saunders, and he takes low inside for ball 1. It seemed like too, Mike, that Felix was going with the off-speed pitches as well the last few innings.
Well, and he has good stuff tonight. I think if you look at his stuff overall, the movement on his fastball is good. He's throwing some great changeups and some really nice sliders tonight. Again, it just goes back to that 2nd inning. Other than that, he's been really good. Yeah. This is a good Rays club. These guys can score and cause some problems, and they're really going to put some pressure on you if you make some mistakes. The Mariners did in the 2nd. Now they're behind in the game.
Saunders takes a strike on the outside corner as the count goes to 2-1. And Mike, you just see this young man from Victoria, British Columbia, gain more and more confidence each time he's out there.
Well, that was one of the things that you and I were talking about watching him earlier taking batting practice. He hits this fly ball out, but he's a great athlete. You can see that runs well, big kid, and eventually he's going to hit for some power.
Pops one up into right field, and Zobrist comes in to make the catch. That'll end the bottom of the 5th inning. We go to the top half of the 6th here at Safeco Field. The Rays lead it 4-1.
the Emerald Queen Casino, welcoming country's own Clint Black August 22nd. For tickets, go to emeraldqueen.com.
Rays lead 4-1 as we head to the top half of the sixth inning. Deanna Navarro leads it off and takes a look at ball one from Felix. Tampa Bay 3 runs on only 1 hit in the second and a run in the fifth on a long home run by Pat Burrell, swinging a foul back by Navarro. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Mike, we were talking about the Rays offense and the kind of problems they present. They're quick, they steal bases, they're very athletic, they put the ball in play, and about 4 or 5 guys in this park can hit the ball out of the ballpark.
They do a lot of things to cause problems for you offensively. And I think the home runs, that's one issue, but the biggest one is the speed. You get guys on base that can run. It really bothers. It bothers the pitcher. It bothers the defense. You have to change things up. It causes a lot of problems.
Joe Madden spent a lot of time. There is strike 3 called. Felix Hernandez strikes out Navarro looking. Strikeout number 6 for Felix and 1 out for the Rays here in the top half of the sixth inning. Rays manager Joe Madden spent a lot of time in the Angels organization. He was the bench coach for many years, but before that worked in the organization, working closely with longtime manager Mike Scioscia. And they're a lot like the Angels.
They are. In fact, a lot of people would probably argue, because we talk about the Angels all the time and how well they run the bases and go first and third and push the issue there because they have the speed to do that. And a lot of people think maybe the Rays are better at that.
They've got the people to do it.
Right.
Here's Jason Bartlett. 1-0 pitch is a strike, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bartlett, an all-star for the first time this year, swings and misses, and the count goes to 1-2.
Time you finally get to bed.
3 o'clock this morning.
3 o'clock.
How do you feel?
I feel terrific.
You really?
Yeah.
After about 4 cups of coffee.
Yeah, that's about right.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Felix got him. So back-to-back strikeouts for Felix here in the top half of the sixth inning. That is strikeout number 7 for Hernandez. 2 outs for Tampa Bay. Yeah, the ball club got in about 1:32 o'clock this morning. We got in and got ready for the game tonight. And that's baseball.
Yeah.
That's part of the schedule you have to deal with. You got to make sure you try to get your rest.
I think it's hardest on the guys that maybe are dealing with some injuries, leg injuries and that kind of thing, that have to play.
Carl Crawford takes low inside for ball 1. Crawford with 2 hits tonight, 2 for 3, and also safe on an error. Little chopper wide of the mound, charging the second base, but Jose Lopez quick flip to first, and he got him. Nice play by Jose Lopez to get the speedy Carl Crawford, and that's it for the Rays. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Tampa Bay leads it 4-1. Sixth inning. Let's take a look at our Mercedes-Benz E-Class Attention Assist of the game in the top half of the first inning. Look at this.
Actually, it's the last play in the top half of the 6th inning. It is Jose Lopez charging that slow roller.
You see how quickly he gets rid of it, Rick. Make sure he gets his footwork right. So many guys will run through that and their feet will get tangled up and they can't get the throw off, but he was able to measure it perfectly, knowing that Crawford runs well. Nice play.
So we go to the bottom half of the 6th, and Ichiro to lead things off against Jeff Neiman. The last time the Mariners got a hit off of Neiman was a base hit, a single by Jose Lopez back in the 1st inning following that home run by Branyan. Ichiro is 0 for 2 on the night, and he takes a look at ball 1. Ichiro is 39 hits away from another 200 hit season, which would be his 9th in a row. Popped up behind home plate and out of play off to our left, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Ichiro trying to jumpstart the offense. I like it. Relievers can't have him in the bullpen anymore, but the fans kind of ran with it a little bit tonight with some of the helmets.
Watch Neiman, watch him slide across the mound as he's going through the windup. See the way he slides across there, Rick? Again, just trying to create some angles with the run of his fastball and the good breaking ball. A lot of times the guys will end up standing on a spot and they'll stay there. You don't see too many guys slide anymore. It used to be you would see that quite often, and now, and why he does it, I really don't know. But he lines up over there on that side, and that foot will end up on the complete other side of the mound to create some angles. See the run of that fastball.
Fouled out of play. Does it?
But it kind of
goes
goes
to
back.
Get that big body going.
Well, that might be it. It's a little bit kind of like Felix with the extra turn that he kind of put in there when he started pitching really well. You know, that kind of thing. It's like hitting and everything else. You have to be able to have some rhythm and timing. I think that's just one thing. He's 6'9", so.
Ball in the dirt. Ichiro chased it, knocking it down as Navarro. He's going to make the throw to first, a little high, but handled by Pena. So it's a strikeout for Jeff Neiman. The putout will go 2-3. So 1 out for the Mariners, bottom half of the 6th. Say Thursday, catch the Mariners and the Bronx Bombers in action when they open up a big 4-game series. It's also Mariner Moose T-shirt night for all kids 14 and under, thanks to Bing. Tickets are going fast. Reserve your seats today at Mariners.com. Rick Riz along with Mike Blowers, our associate director Robbie Nielsen up here in the booth, and our statistician Chris, our sound guy Bubba. Where's Bubba? Bubba's back there somewhere. Here is Russell Branyan, and Branyan takes outside for ball 1. Russell giving the Mariners their only run so far with that home run out to the landing in left center field. That was a career high 25th home run for Branyan. Well hit, pulled foul down the right field side, and the count is even, and Russell had 1 ball and 1 strike. It's a big year for Russell Branyan, Mike. It's his first opportunity to play every day. He's going to go way by his previous high in at-bats in a single season. The career high in home runs right now. Ground ball out to the second baseman out there in shallow right field. Willie Ibar throws Branyan out at first base. 2 outs in the inning, and he's made the most of this opportunity.
He has, and it's one of those things where everybody knows about the pop that Russell has in his bat, and people probably over the years have talked, well, I wonder what he can do. I'm sure that he has with those amount of bats, getting 550 at bats in a season. Well, now you're going to get a chance to find out. And here we are in the first week of August, and he's already surpassed his high in home runs with 25.
Here is second baseman Jose Lopez, who had the last hit for the Mariners back in the 1st inning off of Neiman. And takes a strike 0-1. That's what Jack Zarensic, the new GM, told Branyan when he signed him during the offseason. You're going to play every day and be the first baseman. Well hit on the ground, but right there, Longoria is tossed across, and it's in time to get Jose Lopez for out number 3. 8 in a row retired by Jeff Neiman. After 6 innings of play, the Rays lead 4-1.
On FSN, The Tracer is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Still Tampa Bay 4 and the Mariners 1 as we head to the top half of the 7th inning, opening game of the 3-game series with Tampa Bay, and game 1 of the 10-game homestand. 3 with Tampa Bay, 3 with the White Sox, and then 4 coming up with the New York Yankees. Great crowd tonight here on Ken Griffey Jr. Bobblehead Night. Felix Hernandez has gone all the way so far. He'll take a look at Evan Longoria, Ben Zobrist, and Carlos Pena. Flo, the Rays went to the playoffs for the first time in their history last year. The previous 10 years, they didn't have a winning record. But last year, they ended up with 97 wins, winning the American League East. And then they beat the White Sox in the division series, beat the Red Sox in the American League Championship Series, and ended up losing to the Phillies in the World Series 4-1. What were they going through during the playoffs for guys that got there for the first time? This is Longoria leading things off, and the count goes to 2-0.
I think that they were fortunate because they were such a young club, and I think that they got it right last year for Manager of the Year, and then in Joe Madden.
Oh, yeah.
And the job that he did, and I think a lot of the times you watch the interviews and the things that go on, he put a lot of what those guys were going through on himself, which kept them from being distracted and having to deal with other issues. He did a terrific job of that. What I find interesting is when you talk about the Rays, they get into the league and they have a young club, and then remember they switched over and they started signing a lot of veteran guys, Boggs and Canseco and guys like that. And then they come back and they decide to go back to the younger guys, and
that worked.
It worked terrific. They have, and look at them now. They have some terrific players, and some of them are veteran guys now. Carl Crawford is a terrific player, but he's been around the league now for a while. Upton has been around some. Pena,
But a lot of times when a young club gets to the playoffs for the first time, they usually don't get through that first round because it's all kind of consuming. But you're right. I agree with you 100%. Joe Madden did a great job handling this team. What was it like for you the first time? What was different
a lot
about
of fun.
The playoffs?
It's just it's hard to explain or describe to people, but it's just, to me, I just thought it was a lot of fun. It was just a lot of fun, and I think for us, my first time going to the postseason was in '95, and it was, I think it was the progression up to that point.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
The journey that took you
Yeah,
there,
so,
handling that pressure first.
It almost felt like towards the end there, the last 6-7 weeks, big part of it, that guy.
He did good.
He did all right. But it was having to win every day and playing under that pressure for such a long period of time, so that once we finally got in, we had the one-game playoff to get into the postseason. So once you get past something like that, where you have everything riding on that one game, it didn't seem like there was as much pressure in the postseason as trying to get there.
Yeah. Getting there was so tough, but you guys made it. You were down 13 games in early August. Ben Zobrist with a strike, and the count is 2-1 on the Tampa Bay right fielder.
You have to have a lot of things go right when you're 13 back, as you mentioned. The Angels had to come back to us, and we obviously played well, but you have to have some help along the way too, and we were able to get that.
Remember the Angels that year lost their starting shortstop Gary DiSarcina. That turned out to be a very, very big loss for the Angels.
Yeah, we all knew that was going to be the case too. It was a huge loss to them. But it was completely opposite of the team in 2001 because those guys were winning every single day. 116 wins. Yeah. So the two things were completely different. I think the 2001 team, they knew that at this time, early August, they knew they were going to the postseason.
No doubt about it. Another walk. Zobrist is on at first base. That'll send Longoria down to second. 2 on with nobody out. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Washington's Lottery. Look at that. Nothing tied. Bottom of the 13th inning at New Yankee Stadium.
In at 113 pitches. That is going to be it for Felix.
Yeah, Sean White will take over in relief. So manager Don Wakamatsu making a change here in the top of the 7th inning. Rays lead by a score of 4-1, and we'll be back after this timeout. 6+ innings.
And at times he was really good, and other times he struggled. He struggled in the 6th, and then here in the 7th he walks a couple of hitters. But I thought he had pretty good stuff tonight. Good movement. At times he lost control. Ended up with the 5 walks, and that basically did him in. Got his pitch count up to 113. And ended up chasing him from the ball game here in the 7th inning.
So Felix 6+ tonight. In his 2nd start of the year against Tampa Bay, he beat them 1-0. And here's the line for Felix: 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned, 6 walks, and 7 strikeouts. He threw a lot of pitches, 110. And right-hander Sean White will take over in relief. He'll face Carlos Pena. The Rays have Longoria on at second. Zobrist is the runner at first base. Numbers for White in 42 games, 2-2 record with a 3.20 ERA. Fly ball into left field and deep. Saunders going back near the 1-2 track, now on the 1-2 track, and he's there to make the catch. Tagging going to third. Longoria, the throw to second base, will keep Zobrist at first, so the double play is still in order. So Carlos Pena with a long fly ball to left field, 1 out for Tampa Bay.
Saunders does a nice job. He's done a lot of things correct, and that is one of them right there. If he tries to throw the ball to third, then the runner was tagging at first. He's down there, and now you have some problems. But with this right here, with White with the good sinker, it still has a chance to get the double play and get out of the inning. Nice play by Saunders out and left to go to second base.
Good strong throw by Saunders, and here's designated hitter Pat Burrell, who hit one off the facing of the upper deck in left field his last time up in the 5th inning, his 9th home run of the year. Down and in, ball 1. Burrell with the Phillies last year, who beat Tampa Bay in the World Series, now playing for Tampa Bay this year, signing as a free agent. Fake move to third, toss to first base, back to the bag at first. Zobrist. Now a toss over to first base by White, keeping Zobrist close. With his double play combination, a chance to turn 2 just in case Burrow hits one on the ground to Jack Wilson or Beltran. Inside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Right, the bullpen getting quite a bit of work out the last few games.
Probably too much. Guys have had to pitch a lot this year.
Low again, ball 3. 3-0. Burrell on deck for the Rays, second baseman Willie Ibar. Manager Don Wakamatsu really doesn't want to, nor I don't think he can go to David Archman, still with that problem. Bouncing ball down the third base line, going to be a fair ball taken by Beltre. Toss across the first, in time to get Burrell, and on the play Longoria will score. Tampa Bay now leads 5-1. So Burrell is out 5-3, but he picks up a run batted in, and down to second goes Zobrist. There's 2 outs in the inning. Hey friends, create your own Mariners collectible using your favorite photos at the photo store and Mariners.com. In 3 easy steps, you can make your very own Mariners memory. Visit Mariners.com today. Here comes manager Don Wakamatsu out of the dugout, going out to have a little conversation with third base umpire Jeff Nelson.
I wonder if he's arguing whether the ball was fair or foul.
Nelson making the call right away as Beltre fielded the ball, and it's where it crosses over the bag and not where it lands or where Beltre is standing. And Nelson, Mike, I think had the right angle right behind it.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, he's explaining it to Don, but I'm wondering if maybe because the ball had hit on the line before the bag, Don's wondering how did it stay fair, and how, you know, at that point the ball would have to continue to go straight over the bag. And a lot of times when you pull a ball like that, it's going to hook a little bit because of the English on the ball, and you just wanted an explanation.
He got it from Jeff Nelson, and now Wack heads on back to the first base dugout. 1 run in. A run for Tampa Bay without a hit. 1 on, 2 outs, so the batter is Willie Ibar.
And where Don is, where he usually stands in the dugout, he has a pretty good angle too, looking right down the line.
Ibar takes down and away for ball 1. There's a look at Don Wakamatsu in the corner of the first base dugout, looking down that third base line. Fouled away, and it's 1-1 on Ibar.
Take a look at it. Looked like I thought it hit the line.
Yeah,
I did. I thought it had a piece of the line, so it had to be a fair ball.
way outside on Ibar, ball 2. 2-1. So Tampa Bay with a run with an infield out and capitalizing on a couple of walks. And they've made the most of few hits in this game. Mike, back in the second, they got 3 runs on only 1 hit.
We have 5 hits for the game.
Swing and a miss by Ibar. 2-2. Ibar has bounced out twice. He's also flied out to Gutierrez in center field. Zobrist down at second with 2 down. Line drive, softly hit right at third baseman Adrian Beltre makes a catch. That'll retire the side, but the Rays pick up 1 more. 7th inning stretch time. We go to the bottom of the 7th here at Safeco. Rays now lead 5-1. By the dairy farmers of Washington, who want to remind you to get your 3 a day of dairy every day. Great crowd tonight here at Safeco Field, and welcome the Mariners back home. Tampa Bay leads by a score of 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Some defensive changes for the Rays. Ben Zobrist, who was in right field, is now playing second base, and Gabe Gross takes over in right field. Gross and right. Designated hitter Ken Griffey Jr. will lead things off. Fans on their feet. 7th inning stretch time, and the Mariners still looking to get to Jeff Niemann. Man, has he been tough. 10-5 record, his first full year in the big leagues. Rookie right-hander. Swing and a drive into deep right field. Gross back to the wall. It is gone. Goodbye baseball. Ken Griffey Jr. on Ken Griffey Jr. bobblehead night with a home run to right field. For Junior, his 12th home run of the season and number 623 in his Hall of Fame career, and it's now Tampa Bay 5 and the Mariners 2. And Mike, you just knew something like that would happen tonight.
We're talking about it earlier in the game, and he really has a knack for it. Has his entire career. You can go through and talk about the 600+ home runs and everything else that he's done, the terrific catches, but this bobblehead night, of course, he's going to hit a home run. Pitch out over the plate. Gets just enough of it out of the reach of Gross, who made a nice try to catch that. But
Beltre lines one. Right back through the middle for a base hit. So Adrian Beltre on the first pitch from Jeff Neiman rips a single to center. 5-2 Tampa Bay. That'll bring up center fielder Franklin Gutierrez. So Ken Griffey Jr. with a home run on his night. Ken Griffey Jr. bobblehead night. Batter will be Franklin Gutierrez, who has fanned a couple of times. That's number 623 in Junior's career. I remember the first one he hit back in 1989 off of Eric King of the Chicago White Sox in the Kingdom. Left field. Opposite field. Gutierrez takes a strike, 0-1. What a journey for Ken Griffey Jr. Grant Balfour warming up down in the Tampa Bay bullpen.
Even at 80 pitches right now, he's done a nice job of throwing strikes tonight. 80 pitches, 58 strikes, just 22 balls for him.
0-2 on Gutierrez.
Franklin's had a tough time picking that breaking ball up off of Neiman tonight. You get like that sometimes. There's a pitcher where, for whatever reason, some of the hitters just don't pick the ball up, as you see Sean Kelly getting loose out in the Mariner bullpen. And tonight, I think Franklin just had a tough time picking that breaking ball up.
Beltre in lead at first base, nobody out. You're going to get another one, and he did, and he strikes out looking. For the third time, Neiman has fanned Gutierrez, and now Franklin having a few words with home plate umpire Mark Carlson. One out for the Mariners here in their half of the seventh inning.
I showed where the pitch was on the tracer, and it looked like a strike. You can see the catcher catching the ball down in the zone, but it's such a big 12-6 breaking ball from Neiman that it ended up being in the strike zone.
So one on and one away, and that'll bring up shortstop Jack Wilson. Jack looking for his first base hit tonight. Hey, here's some more rally fries, Mike. How about that? I love this one right here. Dave Niehaus and Mike Blowers with the two kids.
Yeah. We thought we'd send Lindsay out there twice tonight.
That's beautiful.
Sold out crowd here at Safeco Field.
That's fantastic. A lot of work. The young boys, what a job. Congratulations.
Thanks,
enjoy the rally fries. Ian and Colin out there. Well, thanks to Lindsay taking out the rally fries. One on, one away. Wilson takes down and away. Ball two balls and no strikes. What do you do if you're having a rough time seeing the ball? And what kind of adjustments do you try to make?
Try different things. Sometimes you just have to sit on a pitch. You just have to just look for one pitch and eliminate everything else. But sometimes you do that and you still don't pick it up.
All 3-0 the count on Wilson.
Rob Johnson standing on deck. Talk about it all the time. You go through it basically, 5 times in a week. You'll see a pitcher that has a hitter's number, a hitter that has a pitcher's number.
3-1 on Jack. What is it about that particular pitcher that you hit well against? You just felt comfortable because you did see the ball out of his hand?
Sometimes you see the ball, and sometimes you just know what they're going to throw. You just can sense it, you can feel it, you have an idea. So if you're looking for pitches all night, you're constantly right.
So that's why it was so good.
It was pretty good, yes.
Chopper along the third base side foul. Full count on Wilson. Third back to first base. This guy was just unbelievable when he first came up. Didn't matter who threw it, where he threw it, how he threw it. He'd hit it.
I think at one point they measured bat speed for all the major leaguers. I think it was either first or second. That would certainly help.
Yeah. in that bat to the ball.
Well, you can wait longer, see pitches, recognize pitches longer.
Beltre goes, and it's fouled away in the third base side by Wilson. Still 3-2, and Adrian heading back to first base. (5-2) Rays. Opening game of the 3-game series. Beltre goes again. Fly ball into shallow right field. This is going to drop in front of Gabe Gross for a base hit. Gets on by Gross. Beltre to third. And now Gross retrieves it. Gets it back into second base. Jack Wilson with a single. And the Mariners have runners at first and third with one out. So the Mariners making some noise after that leadoff home run by Junior here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
I'll take a look at it. Another two-seam fastball. Wilson just dumps it into right field. We see him do that a lot since he's been with the Mariners. He'll spread out a little bit farther and really let the ball get deep, and that's what he did there. It jammed him, but he ends up with a base hit.
Time is called. Here comes manager Joe Madden out of the Rays dugout, and that's going to be it for Jeff Neiman, the starter tonight. He pitched mighty well, but he'll leave. 5-2, Tampa Bay on top, 1 out and 2 on, as Madden goes down to his bullpen. We'll be back after this timeout. Taco Del Mar, home of the $49.9 Mondo Burrito. By Money Tree, and Money Tree providing immediate cash for your business is our business. Apply for a business loan at MoneyTreeInc.com. And by Wilcox Farms, celebrating Wilcox Farms' 100th anniversary. Remember, buy local, buy fresh, buy Wilcox Farms eggs. The new pitcher for Tampa Bay. The Rays lead 5-2. Grant Belfort takes over in relief. Mariners have a run in here with the numbers for Belfort.
See the 49 strikeouts and 50 2/3 innings pitched. Opponent's average just 242.
Mariners have Beltre on at third. Jack Wilson on at first base, 1 out, down by 3, and the tying run is at the plate, and Rob Johnson. That'll be 1 home run of the year. 0 for 2 tonight. Fastball is high, ball 1. Numbers for Jeff Neiman, Mike, 6 1/3.
89 pitches, 5 strikeouts, just the 1 walk.
Giving up 2 runs. Both runners here in the bottom of the 7th inning still belong to Neiman. Junior with a home run tonight. Brandon with a home run. Bouncy ball, foul on the third base side. 1-1 on Johnson. Great crowd here at Safeco Field for the opening game of the homestand. Well over 40,000 fans tonight. Beltre at third. Jack Wilson at first base. Fell for like Ryan Rowland-Smith from Australia. Johnson takes low and outside. Ball 2 on Robbie. 2-1 the count. Not by much.
The tracer looked like a pretty good pitch. Ryan Rowland-Smith
from Newcastle, Australia. One of the first players I remember from Australia, Dave Nilsson from the Milwaukee Brewers. Catcher. On a play on the first base side, and the count evens up on Johnson. Had 2 balls and 2 strikes. Johnson looking for a clutch base hit, sends a ground ball base hit into right field. Almost got Wilson. Here comes Beltran to score. Rob Johnson with an RBI single, and it's now Tampa Bay 5 and the Mariners 3. Johnson going the other way to drive in Beltran. Jack Wilson had to skip a little rope to avoid getting hit by that ground ball base hit.
Nice piece of hitting by Johnson to go the other way. Gets a fastball away out over the plate and just reaches for it and shoots it into right field. And you're right, Rick. Nice play by Wilson. The base runner at first had to jump over, and that ball actually kicked up on him too.
Jack was able to get out of the way. Otherwise, he would have been out. So runners at first and second now with 1 away and 2 runs are in. 5-3 Tampa Bay, and here's Michael Saunders.
Oh, Mike Sweeney's come out. He's going to pinch hit for Saunders.
So here is Sweeney. Really very big home run for his career last night in Kansas City. His 100th career home run at Kauffman Stadium. He spent 13 years in Kansas City with the Royals, Mike, and that was something special for Mike Sweeney.
Well, you knew he wanted to get that one out of the way, and he was able to do it. You see what he's done as a pinch hitter this year, 4 for 8 with a couple of RBIs.
So one of the tough things to do in baseball, come off the bench to pinch hit. So now at 5-3, Sweeney, the pinch hitter, represents the go-ahead run of the game. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. The appeal down to Tim Sheeta, the umpire at first base, who was the crew chief. So 1-0 the count on Mike Sweeney. Mike, 203 career home runs. That was number 100 at Kauffman Stadium last night. Jack Wilson on at second. Rob Johnson at first base. 2 runs are in. Fouled away by Sweeney, and he let that bat go flying, and the count is even on Mike at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Take a look at the swing. Right off the shin guard, it looked like.
And a pitch. Fouled it away. Mike Sweeney hitting from Michael Saunders. Outside for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Like it seems like the good pinch hitters down through the years are very aggressive early in the count.
Well, that's what you're taught, and a lot of guys want to be patient. The guys that are in the lineup every day, but when you're coming off the bench, hitting coaches, managers, veteran players will tell you get a swing off as quickly as you can. Try to find a fastball that you can handle and get a swing off, and that's what Mike did in this at bat.
Ball's time, and he backs out, tightens up the bat and gloves. Activity down in the bullpen. A right-hander and a lefty warming up for Tampa Bay. All the way on the ground behind third base coach Bruce Hines, and the count is even on Sweeney at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Mike trying to keep the momentum going. Leadoff home run by Ken Griffey Jr. Beltran with a single. 1 out later, Jack Wilson dunked a base hit into right field, and then Rob Johnson singled into right field to score Beltran. But Jr. got it started with that home run to right field. 5-3 Tampa Bay. Chopper along the third base line, foul picked up by Longoria. Still 2-2.
Balfour continues to throw fastballs inside to Sweeney. Mike trying to get one. You can take a look at the trace of those pitches right in there. If they can leave one of those out over the plate just a little bit. Like you mentioned, hit a home run yesterday, has a chance to put the Mariners out in front.
Outside, just a bit outside. Ball 3, full count, 3-2. 1 and I right there by Sweeney. That was mighty close. Ichiro is on deck. Inside of that hit him. Balfour hits Mike Sweeney on a 3-2 pitch, got him on the left arm. And the Mariners have the bases loaded with only 1 out here in the 7th inning. And now the tying run is on at second. The go-ahead run at first. And trainer Rick Griffin coming out to check up on Sweeney.
Looks like it hits him in the elbow.
Oh,
right in the forearm.
As he was checking that swing, got him right on the right forearm. So Joe Madden out to the mound. That's going to be up at Balfour. And Madden goes out to the bullpen one more time to get Brian Schaus. Bases loaded, 1 out, 2 in. Don't go away. 5-3 Tampa Bay. We'll be back after this. For the 7th inning, now it's time for the Coors Light freeze cam. The Mariners with 2 home runs tonight. Russell Branyan in the bottom of the 1st inning, left center field. And then Ken Griffey Jr. a leadoff home run to right field here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 of the Mariners 3 runs via the long ball. Coors Light freeze cam. And here is Ichiro to face left-hander Brian Schaus on in relief. With a bases loaded and only 1 out. Ichiro looking for his first base hit tonight. Tying run at second. Go ahead run at first base. And a strike on Ichiro, and it's 0-1. Ichiro during that 21-game hitting streak at home, batting .463. Fans chanting Ichiro. Langer hands a pinch runner at first base for Sweeney. And that's up high for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Mariners have Wilson at third. Rob Johnson is on at second base, and the pinch runner Ryan Langerhans at first base running for Mike Sweeney. Hit by a pitch below the bases. 1 out. Ground ball back up the middle into center field for a base hit. Wilson scores. Johnson heading home. The throw to the plate. Kicks off the mound. 2-run score. Game tied at 5. Ichiro with a 2-run single into straightaway center field, scoring Jack Wilson from third. Rob Johnson scores from second. The Mariners have tied the game at 5-5 here in the bottom half of the seventh.
Rays bring Schaus in because he drops down, throws from underneath, hoping to get a ground ball from Ichiro. Just shoots it right back up the middle and drives in a couple of runs. There's the swing.
So he drives in a pair. The throw to the plate by Upton hit the backside of the mound and bounced into the catcher Navarro. Ichiro at first. Langerhans down at second, and here's Russell Branyan. Sidearm delivery, and it's low and outside, not even close for ball one. Still only one away, and 4 runs are in, and the Mariners have tied it at 5. And it started with Griffey's home run.
All with the 2 home runs for the Mariners. The Mariners are 2 for 2 with men in scoring position in this inning.
Coming through in the clutch. They're driving some runs. Mariners have out hit Tampa Bay now 7-5. Line drive caught at first by Pena, and Ichiro circles back to the bag at first base. Branyan hit a laser right at first baseman Carlos Pena for the second out of the inning. And that is going to be it for Schaus, and manager Joe Madden out to the mound to go to the bullpen one more time. Look at this catch by Pena, but Ichiro is able to put on the brakes, circle back to get back to first base. So Jose Lopez due up next. And we've got another pitching change coming up for Tampa Bay, and Dan Wheeler will take over in really 5-5 time. We'll be back after this timeout. Ideas, better banking. Let's take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. There's your score at 5-5. The Mariners have tied it up. And the Mariners have Tampa Bay in town for 3. Tomorrow night, game 2 of the 3-game series. The White Sox in town for 3 more. And then the Yankees come to town for 4, a 10-game homestand. Here's a look at our 2 kids that had that great sign for the rally fries.
And it worked. Mariners rallied.
Yeah.
4 runs here in the 7th so far.
We have the cutout picture of Dave Niehaus and Mike Flowers. The new pitcher, Dan Wheeler.
Had a good looking tie in that picture.
He looked sharp.
Nice green tie.
Absolutely. Here's Jose Lopez to face Dan Wheeler. The Mariners have the go-ahead run at second, and Ryan Langerhans. Ichiro's on at first base with 2 outs. Lopez takes down and away. Ball 1. Ichiro had a 2-run single that tied up this game at 5-5. Let's score Jack Wilson and Rob Johnson. Wheeler, 46 ball games. His numbers on the year. Lopez 1 for 3 and a single back in the first inning to right field. Takes a strike, 1-1 on Jose, who's now the 9th Mariners to come to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 3 of the 4 runs here in this inning charged to starter Jeff Neiman. Junior on deck. He ignited this rally with a leadoff home run to right field. Lopez leading the ball club and runs batted in with 65. Fouls one away off to the left side of home plate, and it's 1-2 on Jose. Was hit safely in 8 of his last 9 games. Last 8 games hitting .471. Dan Wheeler now the 4th pitcher to work here in the 7th inning. Neiman, Balfour, Schaus, and Wheeler. Way outside with a breaking ball. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Check of the base runners. Langer hands on at second. The go ahead run. Ichiro over there at first base. Manager Joe Madden looking on from the third base dugout. And it's strike 3 called on the outside corner. Jose didn't like that call much from home plate umpire Mark Carlson. But the Mariners come away with 4. The leadoff home run in this inning by Ken Griffey Jr. They tack on 3 more to tie it up at 5. And we go to the top half of the 8th. Helmets out of the bullpen anymore, but fans have kind of taken up on the helmet thing, the Warrior helmets, and they're actually wearing them here at the ballpark. We go to the top half of the 8th inning, all even at 5. There's a homemade helmet, a lot of foil. Changes for the Mariners. Right-hander Mark Lowe takes over in relief.
Look at the numbers for Lowe. 3.16 ERA, 43 strikeouts, 51 in the 3rd innings. Opponent's just hitting .224.
More helmets here at the ballpark. And Ryan Langerhans takes over in left field defensively for Michael Saunders. B.J. Upton leading off the inning, and he takes a look at ball 1. If somebody comes up with an idea, say like the Rally Fries or the helmets, it just seems to take on a life of its own. Takes off. B.J. Upton is 0 for 2, but he walked and scored a run. Ground ball, backhanded deep and short by Wilson. Off balance, bouncing throw, got him! Holy smokes, what a play by shortstop Jack Wilson.
Well, when you see the highlight films from the Pirates over the last number of years, that is a play that he does a lot. A little slide to his backhanded side, gets up quickly and gets rid of it. Looked like he stumbled a little bit when he was getting up. Nice play.
Yeah, he was falling off to his left, but he was able to get that throw on line, a couple of hops, but it made it to Russell Branyan in time to get a guy who can run B.J. Upton. One away. Nice play by Jack Wilson. Catcher Deanna Navarro is 0 for 2, and he takes ball 1. Aaron is 4 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Home run by Junior to start things off, and then a 2-run single by Ichiro that tied the game. In between, an RBI single by Rob Johnson. Swing and a miss. 1-1 on Navarro.
96 miles an hour.
Swing and a miss at 97 with location. You see Robbie set up on the outside corner and low hit the target, Mike.
That's been the biggest difference for Mark this year. He's had a good arm last year at times. Probably didn't throw as hard as consistently as he does this year, but his command has been much, much better.
Look at that. 96, 96, 97. Swing and a miss and a slider down and in. Holy smokes, what a pitch to strike out Deanna Navarro. 2 outs in the inning.
Don't have much chance when he can break a slider off on you like that after throwing 97 miles an hour. Comes back with a hard breaking ball down and in. He swings right over the top of it.
You got to protect for 97, and all of a sudden you see a pitch like that. That's nasty. So 2 outs, and here's Jason Bartlett. Popped up, shallow center field, going out. Jose Lopez calling for it. He's there to make the easy catch. Nice inning by Mark Lowell. 1-2-3, top of the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th tie. Mariners 5, Tampa Bay 5. Is Alan Smith from Tenino, Washington. Congratulations, Alan. You get the bobblehead and the commissioner's seats. Alan Smith from Tenino, our grand prize winner. And Ken Griffey Jr., who led off the bottom of the 7th inning with a home run to right field, his 12th of the year. That started that 4-run rally that tied the game at 5. Will lead off the bottom half of the 8th. Junior usually is right in the middle of the drama. The Moose wants Junior to hit it there. And he takes low. Ball 1.
On the first pitch, Junior hits it into the seats in right field. Looked like Greg Gross, the right fielder, had a chance to grab it. But it's a home run.
Number 12 on the year for Griffey. Flash bulbs go off all over the ballpark as Junior takes a look at ball 2, 2-0. Dan Wheeler came out in relief, got the final out in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Mariners left a couple stranded, but they got the 4 in to tie it. Junior sends a towering fly ball into shallow left center field. Coming up is Carl Crawford to make the catch. 1 out in the inning. So you still can't rent it and you still can't buy it, but it can be yours at the Mariners Royals game on Friday, August the 28th. It's Volume 2 of the Mariners Classic commercials on DVD. The first 20,000 fans pick up a DVD featuring TV ads from 2002 through this season, thanks to FSN. To view a few of the classics or purchase tickets, visit mariners.com/DVD. There's some of the commercials right there. Adrian Beltre with a big swing and a miss. 0-1. Adrian singled to center, scored one of the 4 Mariner runs last inning, the 7th. He went 4 for 4 last night in Kansas City. Line foul past third base coach Bruce Hines, and it's 0-2. Mark Lowe taking care of Tampa Bay in the top of the 8th inning, 1-2-3 without any problems.
David Ardsma throwing in the Mariner bullpen right now.
He was kind of iffy for tonight's game after having that oil lanced a couple of days ago. Still a little bit sore, but there he is getting loose. David Ardsma. 1-2 on Beltre. A little bit low. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Beltre spending 36 days on the disabled list. Had the surgery, his second surgery on that left shoulder. Shaved down the bone spurs. Slider down and away. Ball 3. Full count. 3-2. And on deck is Franklin Gutierrez. Beltre trying to get something going with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Aaron is 5 runs on 7 base hits. Tampa Bay 5 runs on 5 hits. Popped up into shallow right field, down the line, going back to first baseman Carlos Pena. And in foul territory, Pena is there to make the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. Well, time now for Banner Bank's building to the future. How about Matt Tuiasosopo in his last 5 games down at AAA Tacoma? Hitting .579, 11 for 19 with 4 runs scored, 3 home runs, 1 a grand slam home run a couple of days ago, and 13 runs banded in. Tui had the great spring and then was hurt early in the year, had the bad elbow. He's coming back. Here's center fielder Franklin Gutierrez. The
Rays have basically just stayed with the breaking ball to Gutierrez tonight. First pitch from Wheeler, another breaking ball.
Well, the Yankees get 2 and beat the Red Sox 2-0. That game went what, 15 innings in the Bronx, New York. Outside, ball 1-1-1 the count. Alex Rodriguez with a 2-run walk-off home run. The Yankees tonight, 15 innings. They win it over the Boston Red Sox. Game lasted over 5.5 hours. That's popped up on the right field side, but it's going to be out of play into the crowd. 1-2 the count on Gutierrez.
Wheeler just staying with the breaking balls. 3 breaking balls to Gutierrez in this at bat.
Steady diet from Neiman, the starter with breaking pitches. Now Wheeler as well. And another one, a check swing, but it's low and outside, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And at this point, Mike, do you say, where's the fastball? Or do you have an idea? Here comes the 5th one.
I don't think you really know, to be honest with you. You think that eventually he has to throw a fastball, but he hasn't in this at bat. That's 4 breaking balls. He's seen a ton of breaking balls tonight.
Let's see what Wheeler does here with pitch number 5, and there's the fastball, but it's up and in, ball 3. Full count, 3-2. On deck is Jack Wilson. Franklin Gutierrez, 12 home runs on the year. Wind blown out to left field tonight. Fastball, a swing and a miss for strike 3, and that'll retire the side. And we go to the top half of the 9th inning. Our score: Mariners 5, Tampa Bay 5. Let's take a look at our Comcast pitching matchups. Tomorrow night, game 2 of the 3-game series. It'll be Ian Snell making his second Mariners start. James Shields for Tampa Bay. And then Ryan Roland Smith coming up on Sunday against the veteran left-hander Scott Kazmir. So come on by to Safeco Field. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Carl Crawford leads it off against Mark Lowe. And a fastball zips in there for a strike 0-1. Lowe took care of Tampa Bay 1-2-3 in the 8th. Crawford is 2 for 4, a couple of singles and a run batted in. You got to keep this guy off the base paths. 51 steals. Chopper past the mound, up with the ball though. Second baseman Jose Lopez, and the throw is in time to get Crawford 1 away. Brings up third baseman Evan Longoria. When we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, the Mariners do up Jack Wilson, Rob Johnson, and Ryan Langerhans. So Lowe staying out there here in the top half of the 9th inning. Mike, David Ardsma, Don Wakamatsu really doesn't want to go to him if he doesn't have to. After having that Boyle lanced a couple of days ago.
I was surprised to see him up and throwing in the bullpen.
Longoria takes low and outside, ball 1. Longoria has walked twice, singled twice, 2 for 2, scored a run in the 7th inning. Ardsma taking a seat out there in the bullpen along with Sean Kelly off to his side. In the air, deep right field, going back Ichiro to the 1. He tracked to the wall, and he's got some room, and he makes the catch. Longoria flies out to deep right field. 2 outs for Tampa Bay here in the top half of the 9th inning. That's an area 51, and number 51 was able to make the catch.
Just hit it a little bit too high. Ends up staying in the ballpark right in front of the fence out in right field.
So 2 down, and that'll bring up second baseman Ben Zobrist, who started the night in right field. Gabe Gross took over in right. Zobrist went to second. First pitch, a strike on Zobrist, 0-1. Want to say a special hello and happy birthday to Audrey Johnston, 87 years old today. Happy birthday, Audrey. Lives down in Longview, Washington, a right-hander. Cormier warming up down at the bullpen for Tampa Bay. Audrey is the grandmother of Brian Stiles, who works for the Mariners down at spring training. So happy birthday to Audrey Johnston. Happy birthday, 87 years old today, down in Longview. 1-1 the count on Ben Zobrist. Up and away, ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Lowe has retired 5 batters. Up and away, ball 3, 3-1. He's got 2 outs here in the 9th inning. On deck is Carlos Pena. Good fastball right at the knees. Full count, 3-2.
A little bit surprised that Zobrist took that pitch. Rick, on a 3-1 count. 2 outs. The young man has 19 home runs on the year. You think he would take a whack at it? See if Mark can make a pitch on the corner here and put him away.
He's locating that fastball tonight, and he has all year. 3-2. Fouled out of play in the third base side. Still a full count on Zobrist. That was at 97.
See the pitches away from Zobrist. Pitch up out over the plate.
Ground ball to first baseman Russell Brandon. Little bobble. Recovers. Goes to the bag for the out on Zobrist. And that will end the top half of the 9th. 1 run will do it. We go to the bottom of the 9th here at Safeco tied. It's the Mariners 5, Tampa Bay 5. 2 up. Jack Wilson, Rob Johnson, and Ryan Langerhans. Tampa Bay 5. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Fans having a great time here at Safeco Field tonight. The Mariners were down early, came back with 4 in the bottom of the 7th to tie it up at 5. Jack Wilson will lead things off against a new pitcher. Lance Cormier will take over in relief. So this is Cormier. And he becomes the 5th pitcher used tonight by Tampa Bay manager Joe Madden.
Having a good year. Look at his ERA at a 2.83. Just the 3 home runs on the season.
Jack Wilson trying to get it going. He is 1 for 3 tonight. Had a base hit, scored one of the 4 Mariner runs in that 4-run 7th. He's made 2 fine plays defensively in this ball game. He takes a look at a strike, 0-1. So many times we would see Jack in the highlight reel playing for the last 9 years with the Pirates, and now we're seeing it in person, Mike, what he can do at shortstop.
Well, we talked about it when they made the deal and he was coming over. He's a terrific defensive shortstop. Takes a lot of pride in that. We saw a couple of examples of what he can do in his first game here at Safeco Field with the Mariners.
Fly ball into the gap in right center. Gross getting over with a dive, and he makes the catch. Holy smokes, what a catch by Gabe Gross, robbing Jack Wilson of an extra base hit here in the bottom of the 9th. What a play.
Take a look at it. Gross going after it. If he doesn't come up with that, Rick, he probably ends up at 3rd base, but a nice play by Gross. Timing his dive.
Gross took over a couple of innings ago in right field. Zobrist went from right to 2nd base. What a catch. 1 out. And that'll bring up catcher Rob Johnson. Robbie had a big RBI single and a run scored in that 7th inning. Ball 1. Now ball foul along the 3rd base line. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mariners 2-1 against Tampa Bay this year. Back in April, they won 2 out of 3. And a strike on Johnson. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mariners with 2 home runs tonight. Russell Brandon back in the 1st inning. Ken Griffey Jr. in the 7th.
Timeout. Looks like there's a ball on the field out in left center. There it is.
B.J. Upton will take care of it. Tosses it to a fan out there in the landing in left center. Everybody scrambling for the baseball. Curveball, check swing. The pitch is down low. Did he go? He did not. Ball 2. 2-2. 2 strikes. Rob has done a pretty good job of hitting the ball up the middle and going the other way. That pitch way up and in. Ball 3, full count. On deck is Ryan Langerhans. Ground ball right to the 2nd baseman Zobrist. A hot 1 hopper, but he handles it easily. And 2 outs for the Mariners here in the 9th.
A little bit unfortunate in this inning so far. Rick, the Mariners hit it on the button twice and have a couple of outs. See Rob a little bit frustrated by that.
Great catch by Gross in right field, robbing Jack Wilson of an extra base hit. But now 2 down, and that'll leave it up to Ryan Langerhans here in the bottom of the 9th. All even at 5-5. Oh, 0-1. Langerhans first at bat. He took over as a pinch runner for Mike Sweeney in the bottom of the 7th inning. Stayed out in left field. Langerhans coming over from the Nationals organization earlier this year. Outside, ball 1-1. A trade for infielder, outfielder Mike Morse. Swing and a foul off the catcher Navarro. 1-2. Mariners have played 9 extra inning games this year, but Langerhans would love to lean into a pitch right here. The 1-2 from Cormier. Breaking ball, ground ball, foul on the third base side. Still 1-2. Lance Cormier taking over here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Jeff Neiman started the game, went 6 1/3 for Tampa Bay. Felix Hernandez started for the Mariners tonight, went 6+ innings and threw 110 pitches. Another breaking ball. Check swing. He didn't go. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Cormier's throwing a lot of off-speed pitches, Rick. Take a look at that last pitch. It's down on the zone, just 78 miles an hour, changing speeds on his breaking ball.
And another breaking ball misses down and in the dirt. Ball 3. Full count, 3-2. With Ichiro due up next if Langerhans can get aboard. Ichiro had the big 2-run single in that 4-run 7th inning. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a foul behind home plate. This will be the 8th pitch coming up to Ryan Langerhans from Lance Cormier. Again, the 3-2 swing and a miss for strike 3, and we are going to go to extra innings for the 10th time this year. We head to the top half of the 10th inning. Our score: the Mariners 5 and Tampa Bay 5. Ball game. The Mariners got on the board in the bottom of the 1st inning. Russell Branyan with a home run out to the landing in left center field, his 25th home run of the year. That's a career high for Russell Branyan. And the Rays came back in the top half of the 2nd. An RBI single. Carl Crawford drives in 1 of 3 runs of the 2nd, and then you got a base hit right there by Crawford to drive in a run. Tampa Bay would take the lead 5-1. Pat Burrell with a long home run off the facing of the upper deck in left field, his 9th home run of the year. 5-1 Tampa Bay. Then the Mariners came back, bottom of the 7th inning. Junior with a leadoff home run, his 12th of the year. 5-2 game. Rob Johnson RBI single the other way to right field. And then Ichiro with 2 outs drives in 2. 4 runs, bottom of the 7th, game tied at 5-5. So we go to the top half of the 10th inning, and David Aardsma coming out of the bullpen on in relief. Carlos Pena leads it off, and he takes outside ball 1. So Aardsma had that boil lanced off his backside only a couple of days ago. I'm sure it's still a little bit sore, but he's in there. Swing and a miss by Pena. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, looks like he has a good fastball. Take a look at the numbers. 26 saves for Aardsma this year. 59 strikeouts in just 50 and a third innings pitched. Opponent's average 169.
How about that? Took over as the ball club closer of the ball club early in the season. Outside on Pena, ball 2. 2-1. Extra innings this year. The Mariners 5-4. Tampa Bay 5-2. Pena 0 for 3 on the night. He has a walk though. His 70th of the year. Pops one up and out of play on the third base side. 2-2. Nice job by Mark Lowe in relief the last 2 innings. Scoreless innings. Struck out a hitter. Popped up behind home plate. Rob Johnson off with the mask, but this one is out of play. And it's still 2-2 on Pena. And that one was pretty much center cut. And he popped it up. Wakamatsu going to his closer here in the 10th inning. Looking to shut down the Rays and then get the offense back to work at the bottom of the 10th. Popped up, foul third base side, and this one is going to find the crowd behind the Rays third base dugout. And it's still 2-2 on Pena.
And Aardsma keeps going after him with some high fastballs up out over the plate. Pena so far hasn't been able to catch up to one of them. 96 miles an hour.
Still 2-2 the count. Aardsma throwing 95, 96. A couple of low flying seagulls coming into the ballpark out there in center field by Gutierrez. They're circling Franklin. And strike 3 called. Aardsma striking out Carlos Pena looking. 1 out for Tampa Bay here in the top half of the 10th.
I don't think Pena thought he would continue to throw fastballs. Take a look at this last pitch. Right there on the outside corner.
Good velocity, great location. So 1 out for the Rays, and that'll bring up designated hitter Pat Burrell. Burrell with 2 RBIs tonight. Down low, ball 1. Mike, this is the last thing the Mariners needed after the flight home from Kansas City last night, getting in about 2 o'clock this morning.
Well, I'm sure a lot of the guys are thinking about that, and I figure if they're going to go to extra innings, you may as well win the game.
Go for it. Fouled back off the screen, and the count evens on Burrell at 1-1. Popped up right over us and into the upper level. 1-2 on Burrell. There's no mystery with David Aardsma, is there, Mike? I mean, he comes right after you with his fastball, but he locates it.
He'll mix in a split every now and then, but for the most part, you're right, Rick. He will throw a lot of fastballs.
Popped up and out of play, and it's still 1-2. Closers basically can get away with only 2 pitches. That's all you need.
Well, if you throw 96 and put it on the corner, you're going to be okay.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. He strikes out Pat Burrell. Back-to-back strikeouts for David Aardsma here in the top half of the 10th inning.
That looked like a split. Burrell out in front of it. Mariners in the top of the 10th will have Ichiro leading things off. Take a look at this last pitch. It is a split finger, and he's out in front.
A little dipsy-do as it got to home plate. This is Gabe Gross, the new right fielder, who made that incredible diving catch of the ball hit by Jack Wilson, leading off the bottom of the 9th inning. That took away an extra base hit from Jack. Gross fouls one out of play in the left field side. 0-1. Gross hitting .261 on the year. 5 home runs. A swing and a miss, and the count is 0-2.
Another split. Starts him off with a fastball. He's late on it. Comes back with a split finger. Now he has him 0-2. He can pretty much do what he wants.
Thinking here comes the heater. But he's got both pitches working tonight. The 0-2. There's a fastball, but it's up and away. Ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2, low, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Came back with another fastball. Aardsma looking for another strikeout and just misses outside. Ball 3. Full count 3-2. On deck is B.J. Upton. David always starts off with that splitter grip. Fastball fouled out of play behind the plate. Still 3-2.
Fastball split, a couple more fastballs and another split. That last pitch, 95 miles an hour.
Some of the fans on their feet tonight here at Safeco. Great crowd tonight for the opening game of the series. And again, the 3-2 on the way to Gabe Gross, and it's low with a fastball. Ball 4. So Gross walks. 1 on with 2 down for Tampa Bay here in the 10th inning for center fielder B.J. Upton. Coming up on Mariners Live right after the ball game, the post-game reaction. Jack Wilson's defense. He's made 2 outstanding plays, and Junior on his bobblehead night here at Safeco Field. Coming up on Mariners Live. Upton, up and in, ball 1. BJ robbed of a base hit on that play by Wilson in the top half of the 8th inning on the ground ball into the hole. It's short. A swing and a miss by Upton. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jack, after he made the backhand stop, kind of off balance and then made the throw on line to first base, but it bounced in a couple of times to Branyan in time to get Upton.
He bounced it on purpose, Rick, because he was falling down the way you were talking about it. He just wanted to make sure it was on line and let Branyan make the pickup over at first.
Strike 2 called on Upton. 1-2. Strikeouts of Pena and Burrell, the walk to Gross, and now 1-2 on B.J. Upton. Time called by B.J. He got time from the home plate umpire. Mark Carlson backed out of the box. All leaving at 5-5. Been that way since the bottom of the 7th inning. The 1-2 swing and a miss. Strike 3. Ardsma strikes out the side here in the top half of the 10th. Fanning, Pena, Burrell, and B.J. Upton. The Mariners looking for any old kind of a run. We go to the bottom of the 10th, even at 5. Branyan and Lopez due up. The Seattle Sounders FC return to action tomorrow night on FSN. Seattle will do battle with Real Salt Lake in Western Conference MLS competition. Coverage kicks off at 10:30 on FSN and FSN HD. Ichiro will lead off the bottom half of the 10th inning. Mariners 5 runs on 7 hits, 2 errors. Tampa Bay 5 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. Ichiro tying up this game with that 2-run single with 2 outs. In the bottom of the 7th. Facing Lance Cormier. A strike 0-1. Cormier took care of the Mariners 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Boston and New York went 15 innings tonight. The Yankees won 2-0 on a run home run. 1-1 the count in Ichiro.
Ichiro has a lot of holes on the infield right now. Ricky, Pena guarding the line over at first. Longoria, the third baseman, playing up even with the bag shaded towards the line.
Line drive, left field, base hit, and the Mariners have the winning run aboard. Ichiro with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 10th inning. That'll bring up Russell Branyan. Got the offense going back to the first inning with a home run.
We've seen this a lot this year. A little fastball away. Take a look at it on the outside corner. He just flips it into left field.
Ichiro with his second base hit tonight. Here's Russell Branyan. 1 for 4, that home run in the first inning. He has 1 career walk-off home run. Over to first base to get Ichiro back to the bag. Ichiro has 23 steals on the season. And a move to first base, and Ichiro's back to the bag.
We've seen Brandon hit the ball hard to the right side. Things have changed a little bit here with Ichiro. First, they can't put the big shift on Branyan, so it opens up the right side of the infield for him if he hits a ground ball that way.
Right, Mike, he's grounded out to Willie Ibar, who was out in shallow right field when he was playing second base.
couple of times.
1-0 the count on Branyan. He threw the go-ahead run at first base. Down and in. Navarro can't find it, but now he does, and Ichiro staying at first base. And the count is 2-0 on Branyan. Time is called, and we've got one of the trainers coming out to the mound to take a look at Cormier. Like, I didn't notice anything on
I didn't either.
The follow through.
It looked like the ball, when it was past Navarro, maybe hit home plate umpire Mike Carlson in the hand to keep it from going to the backstop. Take another look at it and see where this ends up hitting him after it bounces up to home plate. He slips.
Okay.
Yep, it hit him in the arm. Otherwise, that ball ends up going to the backstop.
And Navarro thought it was on the way to the backstop, but didn't realize that it hit Carlson's arm. Branyan, a ground ball out to the second baseman, Zobrist. He'll go to second for the force on Ichiro. And safe at first base is Branyan. 4-6 fielder's choice, 1 on and 1 away here in the bottom of the 10th inning, even at 10, and that is going to be it for Cormier. So Joe Madden going down to his bullpen one more time. The Mariners still have the winning run on at first base. We've got a 5-5 tie. Don't go away, and we'll be back after this timeout.
Howell having a terrific year. Look at his ERA, a 1.86, opponent's average 190. Giving up 3 home runs on the year.
Russell Branyan out at first base, and the first to face Howell is going to be second baseman Jose Lopez, who is 1 for 4 with a single way back in the first inning. Branyan at first, safe for the fielder's choice. Ichiro led off the inning with a single in the left field. 10th extra inning game for the Mariners this year. Oh, and 1. Jose didn't like that call by home plate umpire Mark Carlson.
Borderline pitch, change up on the first pitch, probably surprised him a little bit. Sean Kelly.
Caught getting loose. Another off-speed pitch. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. Ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jose 15 home runs. 65 runs batted in. Little move to first base to get Brandon back. Russell not that big of a lead. Jose with 9 game-winning runs batted in. Gutierrez with 8, Branyan 6, Ichiro 6, Junior with 5. Swing and a miss. Another off-speed pitch.
Staying with the changeup. 3 changeups in a row.
Look at that, 79, 82, and 81. Everything under the radar. Jose looking for another one of those. And a swing and a miss for strike 3, and that is out number 2 here in the bottom half of the 10th inning. And that'll bring up designated hitter Ken Griffey Jr. Can Lightning strike twice? Jr. with a leadoff home run in the bottom of the 7th inning that led to a 4-run rally that tied the game at 5. Mariners were down 5-1. And if Jr. hits it there, the Mariners come away with a win. It's his night. He has a flair for the dramatic. Now he has 12 home runs on the season. Branyan, the winning run, is on at first base with 2 outs, bottom of the 10th inning. And look at the outfielders going back to their doubles defense. Every outfielder playing deep. Crawford, Upton, and Gross, left, center, and right, making sure nothing gets behind him for the extra base hit, Mike.
And now with 2 outs, they will put the shift on with Junior up and the infield around.
And Junior with a strike, 0-1 from Howell.
There's the shift. Zobrist, the second baseman, is out there towards right field.
Third baseman Evan Longoria playing shortstop near the bag at second. That's down and away. Ball 1, 1-1 on Junior. Very close. Junior hit the home run off starting pitcher Jeff Neiman in that 7th. Fouled away on the first base side, 1-2. There's the home run by Griffey. The right field fan going after it. Got himself a heck of a souvenir. Like to get another one. Line drive foul down the right field side.
Looked like a hanging change at that time to Junior, left it up and into him, gave him a chance to do something with it. He pulled it hard. See, 83 miles an hour.
A lot of off-speed pitches from Mr. Howell. Check swing, little ground ball out near the bag at second. Up with the ball, Longoria, wide throw to first. Heading for third and making it easily is Russell Branyan. Longoria had the play, but he pulled Pena off the bag. He threw it on by Carlos Pena, and now the Mariners have the winning run 90 feet away. How about that? And error on Evan Longoria, and the Mariners still have a chance to win it here in the bottom of the 10th inning.
Looked like Longoria had plenty of time to get this throw over. Junior with the check swing gets over the mound with the shift on the third baseman. Longoria coming across, throws it wide at first.
He had plenty of time. Pena had to get off the bag and yet still wasn't able to reach it. So first and third with 2 outs for third baseman Adrian Beltre, who now has a chance to win it. The runners get their leads. And Beltre takes down low, ball one, another changeup.
To the right-handers, he threw all changeups to Lopez. The junior, he mixed in some fastballs. So Adrian, I'm sure watching from the dugout, is aware that he's going to see some changeups in this at-bat. First pitch he missed with it.
Little ground ball to third, charging Longoria. One-hands it, throws the first, and he got him. And we're going to go to the 11th inning. Longoria makes a fine play, and the Mariners leave the winning run stranded at third. And after 10 innings of play, still tied. Mariners 5, Tampa Bay 5. Mariner players on and off the field. Tune in every week for exclusive interviews, player profiles, and insider coverage you won't find anywhere else. Mariners All Access, Sunday night at 10 on FSN. Rick Riz along with Mike Blowers. We head to the 11th inning, all even at 5, and right-hander Sean Kelly, Mike, will take over in relief.
See how far he has to go in this game. You look at the numbers. Sean's ERA over 5, 18 strikeouts in 22 2/3 innings pitched.
Nice job by David Ardsma, who struck out the side in the 10th inning. Skipper Don Wakamatsu didn't really want to use David tonight after having that oil last a couple of days ago, but he was outstanding. And now Sean Kelly takes over in relief.
Sean will be the 4th reliever for the Mariners tonight. The Rays have used 5 out of their bullpen.
White, Blow, Ardsma, now Kelly. And a strike on Deanna Navarro leading off the 10th inning. Felix Hernandez started the ball game, went 6+ innings, gave up 5 runs, 4 earned, 6 walks, 7 strikeouts. One and one the count. In the 11th, tied at 5-5. One attempt fouled away by Navarro. 1-2 the count. Navarro 0 for 3 is fanned a couple of times. He's also bounced back to the pitcher, but he walked and scored back in the 2nd. Pops one up, third base side, foul territory. A lot of room for Adrian Beltre in front of the Tampa Bay dugout, and he's there to make the catch. Squeezes it, one away. That'll bring up leadoff batter and shortstop Jason Bartlett. Bartlett is 0 for 5. Reached safely on an error and got credit for an RBI back in the 2nd when Tampa Bay picked up 3 runs and only 1 hit. Down low, ball one. A little bit low, ball two, 2-0. Well, this kid was something at spring training, just got everybody out, made the ball club out of spring.
He was terrific to start the season. Ended up having to go on the DL, missed a lot of time. Struggled a little bit when he first came back, but he's starting to throw the ball better now.
Came back from that strained oblique. Down the middle for a strike, 3-1 on Bartlett. On deck is Carl Crawford. Well hit deep to left field, going way back, and this one is gone. Goodbye baseball. Above the hand operated scoreboard down the left field line, Jason Bartlett, his 10th home run of the season, and the Rays lead 6-5 here in the top half of the 11th.
Well, looked like Bartlett had a pitch up and out over the plate. Jumped all over it for his 10th home run of the season. Take a look at the swing. Pitch right above the belt in the middle of the plate.
Rode it out of here down the left field line. Carl Crawford with a big swing and a foul backing out of play, and it's 0-1. So for Tampa Bay, their second home run tonight. Pat Burrell hit one off the face into the upper deck in left field in the 5th inning. Lined right back up the middle into center field. A base hit for Carl Crawford, his second base hit, making his 3rd hit tonight. So Kelly having a rough time here in the 11th.
And Sean better pay attention to Crawford over at first base. 51 steals on the year.
Mike, are we ever going to see anybody steal 100 again like Ricky Henderson?
I don't think so. Do you?
Not what I've seen so far.
No.
This guy would have the best opportunity.
He would have the best chance because he's also a really good hitter. He gets on base a lot.
That's what it takes. Like Ricky Henderson got on so much in that leadoff spot. He's a good hitter, got himself on.
Walked a lot.
Evan Longoria, look at ball one. Sends a fly ball deep into the gap in right center field, but Gutierrez has it tracked onto the warning track, and he's there to make the catch for the second out of the inning, and back to first base goes Crawford. Brings up second baseman Ben Zobrist, who started the night in right field. Ricky Henderson going into baseball's Hall of Fame last month, along with Jimmy Rice and Joe Gordon. Some scores around baseball. The A's over the Royals tonight in Kansas City, 9-4. Rangers leading the Angels 11-6. How about this one? 15 innings. The Yankees win at home 2-0 over the Red Sox, and an Alex Rodriguez walk-off 2-run home run. One on, 2 outs, a run in on the home run by Jason Bartlett. There goes Crawford, a swing and a miss, thrown on to second by Johnson, not in time, and there's number 52 for Carl Crawford. It was a good strong throw by Rob Johnson, but he got a good jump.
Yep, there's not much you can do if he gets a good jump with his speed. He actually, really good throw by Rob, but he beats it easily.
So Crawford on at second with steal number 52. I'll be talking things over with Sean Kelly. When we go to the bottom of the 11th inning, the Mariners do up Franklin Gutierrez, Jack Wilson, and Rob Johnson. One, 2 on Zobrist. The 0-2 on the way, and it's strike 3 called on the outside corner, but the Rays get a run on the home run by Jason Bartlett to take over the lead. We go to the bottom of the 11th. Our score: Tampa Bay 6, Mariners 5. It'll be Franklin Gutierrez, Jack Wilson, Rob Johnson due up. We'll take a look at some great plays by the new Mariners shortstop and Ken Griffey Jr. on his bobblehead night. Leading off the bottom of the 11th inning, Franklin Gutierrez against the left-hander J.P. Howell, who threw a lot of changeups at the bottom of the 10th inning when he came on in relief for Lance Cormier.
Franklin's seen a lot of off-speed pitches tonight.
Shows bunt, takes a pitch inside from Howell, ball one. Outfielders way back in that doubles defense, make sure nothing gets behind him.
Longoria guarding the line at third.
Strike on the outside corner, 1-2 on Gutierrez. Inside, ball two, 2-1. Mike, you're talking about Longoria near the line over third base. There was one manager in particular who always didn't believe in that. Would have you off the line over third base. Lou wanted you to protect that ball off to your left a little bit.
He just didn't believe in it. He felt like there's a lot more balls that are going towards that hole over there, and so take that away.
Hop up behind home plate. Deanna Navarro off of the mask, running out of room, and he does as he reaches into the box seats behind home plate near the Mariners dugout. And it's 2-2 on Gutierrez.
The thing about that is he put a lot of that responsibility on the pitcher. You see Navarro go in to the stands trying to make this play, but he put that responsibility on the pitcher.
Make a good pitch that he doesn't pull
exactly
that far.
Well, what he's saying to you basically is he was a big believer late in the game to pitch away.
Right.
Get the ball away. If you throw one inside and the guy pulls it down the line, that was the pitcher's fault.
2-2 on Franklin Gutierrez. 6-5 Tampa Bay, and that's up and in. Ball three, full count, 3-2.
Might be a little bit different though with a pitcher like Howell because he throws so many changeups. You know,
those are pitches you can pull.
Yeah, and for me late in the game with Norm on the mound, I had to know when he was going to throw that split because I wouldn't necessarily guard the line, but I would cheat and kind of lean that way. A lot of right-handed hitters would pull that pitch if he left it on the plate.
And it's inside for ball four. Franklin Gutierrez has a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 11th inning, and it just missed in. So the Mariners have the tying run at first base. 6-5 Tampa Bay. And here's shortstop Jack Wilson.
We'll see. Don Wakamatsu wants to play it. A chance for a bunt right here. Gutierrez runs well at first. Wilson, we know, can handle the bat, and he can actually lay down a bunt right here and beat it out for a base hit. He likes to push the ball towards first base.
Single scored a run back in the 7th inning, 1 for 4. And move to first base to get Gutierrez back to the bag. Remember, his last time up, he was robbed of an extra base hit on that great catch, that diving catch by Gross in right center field. Really hit the ball well the other way. That was off of Cormier. Upton is deep in center, but shaded a little bit to right center. Another move to first base. Gutierrez back one more time.
I don't think Franklin's having any trouble picking up the move from the left-hander. A lot of times the pitcher will throw over to first a couple of times to see if the hitter's going to show bunt or not.
Jack hasn't tipped his hand either time. Trying to bunt, lays it down first base side, picked up by Pena, looks at second. He gets the tag on Jack Wilson, but Wilson gets the sacrifice bunt down and gets Gutierrez down to second base. And you're right, Mike, he went on the first base side with the bunt.
Well, and the thing about it is on this play right here, he bunted a little bit hard, and I thought Pena maybe had a shot to get Gutierrez at second base. He's a good fielding first baseman, but he likes to get the sure out, tags Wilson.
One on and one away. The tying run on at second base. The winning run is at the plate, and Rob Johnson. Rob is 1 for 4, had an RBI single back in the 7th inning. and it's inside for ball one. How did you like Rob Johnson's mad dash around the bases a couple of nights ago down in Kansas City? And that base hit the center field. The throw to the plate was high. Went to second. Jack Wilson went to third. Throw down to second to try to get Johnson. Wilson scored. Then Rob Johnson went to third base.
He's taking advantage of a high throw, missing the cutoff man.
Swing and a miss at that changeup again from Howell, and it's 1-1 on Rob. Tying run at second. Little chopper fouled away on the third base side, and it's 1-2. Not too many closers throw a great changeup. However, one of the best all time in history did. Trevor Hoffman.
Great changeup. Trevor had a better fastball than Howell, though. Trevor was really going. He was 93, 94 miles an hour with a terrific changeup.
Gutierrez waiting at second, and now time is called. Johnson getting time from home plate umpire Mark Carlson, as Howell taking a little bit too much time. Doug Jones of the Cleveland Indians, closer for many years. He had a real good changeup. Fouled away by Johnson. Still 1-2 on Rob. That's under the radar, Mike.
All changeups.
One on, one away. Bottom of the 11th inning. Rays lead by a run, 6-5. A home run by Jason Bartlett in the top half of this inning. All the way behind third base coach Bruce Hines. Still 1-2 on Johnson. Mike, he's been so much more consistent the last few weeks. He's hit safely now in 14 of his last 17 games for an average of .315.
He's swung the bat much better, as his average up to .230 now.
Fly ball into shallow center field. Going out is Zobrist. Calling for it. Coming in B.J. Upton, and Upton will make the catch for the second out of the inning. Back to second base goes Franklin Gutierrez, and that'll leave it up to Ryan Langerhans. And timeout is called as pitching coach Jim Hickey going out to the mound. Have a talk with J.P. Howell.
Probably just wants to be sure that Howell has a scouting report on Langerhans, who's been in the National League.
On deck is Ichiro, but Langerhans trying to keep the Mariners' hopes alive here in the bottom half of the 11th inning with a base hit to try to score Gutierrez. Down by 1. Mariners came back from a 5-1 deficit to score 4 in the bottom of the 7th inning, tied up at 5. And Bartlett with that home run here in the 11th inning. Jim Hickey back to the dugout. Langerhans, 1 home run on the season. That was at Comerica Park in Detroit, left field. Fouls away the first pitch, and the count is 0-1 on Ryan. Down and away, ball 1, 1-1. Now, Mike, and a guy who throws a lot of changeups, that's pretty good. And a left-hander to a right-handed hitter, how does he go after Langerhans, a left-handed hitter?
He still is throwing his changeup, which a lot of pitchers don't necessarily like to do because they don't want to throw a pitch down and into a lefty. That's a good breaking ball right there.
Went to his other pitch, and the count is 1-2. Game time for the Mariners. 1 on 2 outs. Tying run out there at second base. 6-5 Tampa Bay, and the 1-2 on the way to Langerhans, and here she comes. Down and away in the dirt for ball 2. 2-2 the count. Howell's got to stay away, and that's why the center fielder B.J. Upton is shaded toward left center field. There's a look at the center fielder, Upton. Well hit deep to right field, and this one is over. Goodbye baseball. Ryan Langerhans with the walk-off game winner 2-run home run. Bottom of the 11th inning. Holy smokes! Mariners win it. Mariners win it 7-6 over the Tampa Bay Rays. Would you believe it? Ryan Langerhans greeted at home plate by his teammates. Line shot home run to right field. His second home run of the season into the lower deck, and that's his first career walk-off home run. Mariners come from behind twice in this ball game, and they win it on the home run by Ryan Langerhans here in the bottom of inning number 11. What a ball game tonight, folks. Packed house here at Safeco Field, and everybody's going to go home happy. What a ball game. 7-6. The Mariners win it over Tampa Bay to take game 1 of this 3-game series. What a night for Ryan Langerhans and the Mariners. And Sean Kelly's going to come away with the win. Here's a look at it one more time. Langerhans got what he liked right down the middle of the plate and gets it out of here to right field. Second home run of the year. And the Mariners come away with a win in extra innings tonight. 7-6 over the Tampa Bay Rays. What a finish. Let's send it over to Brad Adam and Bill Kruger, guys.
Rizzy, thank you very much. You see the celebration on the field. I guess, Bill, you can only throw so many 78-mile-an-hour curveballs before the major league hitters figure you out. That's exactly what happened with Ryan Langerhans. Much more from you and us coming out on the show right now. But down to the field, and Angie Menton with a very excited Ryan Langerhans. Ange?
Oh, you got that right, Brad. Ryan, you just told me it was the exact same breaking ball that you had swung and missed on the pitch before.
Yeah, he was just throwing me breaking balls, and I was just thinking, I was telling myself to be ready for anything and just try to hit something back up the middle to tie the game up, and he just left it up, and it went out.
If you can, tell me about the instant that you realized that was gone and you had won the game.
I hit it, and it felt great coming off the bat, and I looked up, and the right fielder wasn't moving, and I knew it was out of there. But it was exciting.
Yeah, I will say. Now, you took an interesting approach as you went into home plate, because there all your teammates are ready to pounce on you and pulverize you. You actually removed your helmet to take your beating.
I'd rather take it straight on my head than have them rattling my brains, beating on the helmet.
All right, well, congratulations. I'll let you get in there with your teammates, Ryan.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, and so the Mariners improved to 4-1 on Ken Griffey Jr. bobblehead night. On bobblehead nights overall coming up, we are going to hear from the kid, Ken Griffey Jr. on this evening. We'll hear what he thinks about the likeness of his bobblehead. That and more coming up. Brad, Bill, back to you.
All right, Angie, thank you very much. No doubt, no surprise that Junior homers on his bobblehead night. The Mariners improved now to 6-4.